Hello, if you can hear me, please say Nintendo Power. And that way I'll know if you can hear me. I don't think other streamers do this, like say this thing for confirmation. I feel like I'm in the army or something. Nintendo Power. Nintendo Fun Club. I had Nintendo Fun Club for a little bit. Their newsletters were kind of neat. Yeah, and that Nintendo is so different over every generation now. Like, the Nintendo of today is so different from what I grew up with. And, like, the GameCube era is also different. Like, so many things are different. There's a Reggie era. There's a Iwata era. There's a Howard Phillips era. It's crazy. I like the old days. Because I'm from the old days. Okay, so hello everyone. We're doing the Final Fantasy IV translation comparison again today. Today is the 10th. I think today is the 10th stream now. And we do about 3.5 hours per stream. So after this stream, we'll have done like 33 hours. Like, you could just watch it all for 33 hours in a row. That's probably like against UN like wartime rules or something. So I'm not gonna ask people to do that. All right. So right now, if you're looking on the screen, you'll see I have like a Nintendo Power. In the cover of Nintendo Power is Final Fantasy II. And it says Might, Mystery, and Magic. And then there's a slideshow going on, and it's showing like different pages from the Final Fantasy II Nintendo Power coverage. And you can see like, it's so weird. Like all the art is like kind of weirdly westernized. I think it's actually a Japanese artist doing it, but none of the characters look quite right. The feel of everything's kind of weird. So when this came out, I think this Nintendo Power issue came out in 1991. But if for whatever reason it just did not grab me, it just didn't. So that's why I didn't play it until 92, the summer of 92. like Cecil looks really weird there as a Dark Knight. That's not a Dark Knight at all. You got Rydia, who's supposed to be a child, but no, she's some kind of like frumpy 50-year-old art teacher. What else do we got here? Come on, slideshow. We got Edward. Edward looking kind of badass there. Tello looking kind of scary though. My favorite is Palom and Porom. They're so ridiculous looking. And Rosa, that's Rosa, I guess. So this is how they were like trying to market Japanese aesthetic RPGs to, I guess, Western audiences. Nintendo Power probably aimed pretty heavily toward the children's side. I was like, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 in this era. So it just didn't hit me. Oh, there's Palom and Porom. Look at them. They're like bald. They're bald, I don't know, munchkins from Wizard of Oz. I don't know. It's so silly. We're going to meet them today, Palom and Porom. Anyway, I wanted to show this stuff off. Just how things look. Sid looks actually pretty good there. Alright. What else do we got? Come on, slideshow. Provide us with more. But the Nintendo Power, this issue took us pretty far through, like through Toroya Castle or Tower even. I think it takes you to when you get Edge. That's like pretty far into the game. Yeah, here's Edge. Alright, so that's kind of neat. I hope you guys enjoyed that little look. We'll look at more magazines and stuff. I have like a whole bunch of Japanese magazines from this era I got for Legends of Localization like 10 years ago. It'll be fun to look through all that. I'll share that sometimes. So speaking of magazines, I'll have to make this big so I can read this, but at the time, back in like 92, I would say, this was, I think EGM, I forget what magazine did this, but EGM or GamePro or someone managed to get a hold of Ted Woolsey, who was translating things for Square Enix. He did not work on Final Fantasy IV really, but he sort of became like the guy that people talked to about translation with Square Enix. So anyway, here's a little bit from one of his interviews, and I would just like to read it all right now. Okay, question. Is there a finalized name? So this looks like it's maybe a British magazine, so there's a S finalized name for FF5 yet. The tentative working title at the moment is Final Fantasy Extreme, but this could always change. Yeah, Final Fantasy Extreme. was what they kept calling Final Fantasy V for some reason. They just didn't want to call it 5. They kind of wanted to... I guess they thought it was like going to be way too hard. Man, when I look back now, they kept messing with the games. They kept changing mechanics. They made Mystic Quest because we were too dumb and not ready. But like, if they had just treated us properly and given us the game like as is, I think it would have been just fine. We would have gotten through it all, and we all would have like had such a good shared experience over the years. But they had to get weird and like overthink things about the target audience. Like, they had me with 2. They had me really good with 2. 1 was good, 2 was great. And then they were like constantly not targeting me anymore. They were trying to get other people. They had forgotten they had fans. They kind of forgot that. So that's sort of how I feel when I look back at that now. Okay, let me continue. Another question. FF2 also had some changes. We've heard rumors about dancers stripping off in the original. Tell us about those, go on. Alright, the answer from Ted Woolsey? Well, there's a level of playfulness and, dare I say, sexuality in Japanese games that doesn't exist here in the USA. Basically because Nintendo of America's rules and guidelines. And this includes little characters that take their clothes off or show their bottoms or chests that Nintendo won't allow over here. I guess the aesthetic in Japan is perhaps similar to that found in, say, France or Germany, where you might see more people nude sunbathing, or in magazines perhaps see more anatomical shots. Did I say that right? Anatomical? I mean, in the original, there was nothing shocking. There was no sex or anything. But what there was, Nintendo didn't like, so we had to remove it. Alright, so then one more question from the interviewer. Maybe the new, more lenient Nintendo would now allow this... Yes, it's certainly possible that in the future there will be a completely uncut version released. Did we ever get a fully uncut thing? Like, I feel like as we've been going through these translation comparisons, just there's always like little leftover pieces of the old days still. Like, I kind of wish there would just be a completely from scratch translation. I mean, official one. But I guess the 3D one might be the closest, huh? I haven't really looked at the 3D ones. I wonder if they took anything out. So anyway, that's like kind of a look of how it felt to be like a kid back in the day. And just kind of hearing like how things were different in Japan, but never really knowing. Okay, so speaking of Japan, there's a version of Final Fantasy IV that was kind of like magical. It's like this far off thing that I would like to play someday. And the day is probably real soon. But there was a version for mobile phones back in the pre-iPhone days, like before iPhones. There was the I don't even like flip phones, I guess we would call those. Japanese flip phones had a version of Final Fantasy IV, and because it's like such a weird system to be on, it was kind of like locked away from the rest of the world, and the preservation of it, I don't know if there was a version of it ever preserved, but recently there's been a couple communities maybe, that have been like trying to preserve old Japanese phone games, and they've been you can actually play them in your browser now, and they have all kinds of cool launchers and stuff. So all these old Japanese games, they might be available now for just ordinary play. I don't know if FF4 is out. I'll check it out someday though, I'm sure. So that's one of the things that I've always like just been, I don't know, white whale, I guess you could call that. All right, so there we go. There's all that. Let me bring the slideshow back up while we're talking. So today, I plan to talk to the Elder at Mysidia. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk to the Elder. The unfortunate thing is that any scene with the Elder has a lot of text, because this is like a really important part of the game now. This is where Cecil starts to turn from his dark side. He finally starts to become a paladin, like a warrior of light instead. But it takes a lot of text to go through before that happens. So we're going to talk to the Elder. The Elder will do his stuff. Then we'll get Palom and Porom. They'll join our party. We'll go around town again, because a new event flag will probably have activated. So people will have new text to say. So we'll probably spend just a lot of time in Mysidia. If we're able to, we'll head outside and we'll check out the twins, the Palom and Porom, and the stuff they can do. and then we'll head over. We'll just keep walking east. Maybe we'll do like the Peninsula of Power thing. I'll show that off real quick. And if we can get into Mount Ordeals and start some of that, then that'll be cool. I don't expect to get very far into Mount Ordeals, but that's the plan. All right, let us begin. All right, let me make this big. Oops, that's not what I. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, you can see how like when I have this thing boot up, it has this nonsense over here. This is where I was trying to make it so that it wouldn't automatically like push new text onto the next line. All right. We're 23 hours in. Oh yeah, the score is -173 Super NES, -80 on J2E, and -181 in Naming Way. At this point, the numbers are all quite negative, which is like not ideal. So although it looks like one might be overpowering the others, at this point there's just like so much going on and so much is wrong. It's kind of disheartening, but I'm more interested in seeing how J2E progresses, because I think the J2E wackiness starts to pick up. All right, we're outside. Let's go. Okay, we're in Mysidia. We talked all about this yesterday. We did all the stuff. Now we just have to talk to the Elder. We're going to be here a while. We're going to be in this room for about 2 hours. All right. Okay, it looks like, well, you can see already look how long this text is. You can see it in Japanese. I'm just going to scroll it. We're going to go through all this, you guys. And this is just one part. Yeah, this is at the end he calls Palom and Porom in. So as a translator, when you get these big blocks of text, it's like kind of overwhelming and scary at first. But once you get going, it's not too bad. Alright, so what's the easy type change here? Oh, it takes such a long time to load all this now. Looks like there's a space they added out of nowhere. Looks like they changed some simple words. Like simple words like the word for like vile or wicked. They just changed that to evil or dark. Won't go too much into those. Yeah, like there's a good heart that becomes a different word for good heart. Alright, I don't want to click that box anymore. Alright. Alright, the Elder says in Japanese, Sonata wa ano toki no ... Kondo wa itai nan no youja. That means you're from that time ... So he's referencing when Cecil came and attacked Mysidia, he recognizes him. He's saying, you're from then. What do you want this time? It's kind of like direct and stern, but not like super evil mean or anything. Kondo wa itai nan no youja. He's speaking like an old person. That jaw is in there. Alright. Super NES, what do you want from us this time? It's like technically 1.5 sentences in Japanese. Here's just one. Okay, I'll just leave it out. Oh, by the way, he uses the word sonata. It's a different word for you. It's like kind of archaic feeling, sonata. Alright, J2E, you're that dark knight. What have you come to destroy this time? Okay, you're that dark knight is pretty okay. I would have said, he's not shouting. Remember, this is now the Elder. This is like the really wise guy of this entire magical kingdom. And it's really important to know that he's like, it was said that he's willing to forgive anything and everything. And even like all the bad stuff that we did. So he's gonna have like a wiseness to him and a sternness to him, but he's not gonna be mean to us. That's the thing. Like, we can be mean and evil, but he's gonna always kind of be stand-up guy. So you're that dark knight. There's a little tonally off. I wouldn't have liked that. Oh my gosh. I'm looking at every time I have to look at these revisions, it takes so long to load. Alright, let's see. Anything crazy going on in J2 yet? We'll find out later, I guess. I bet it takes so long it might even like hiccup the stream. Alright. You're the Dark Knight. What have you come to destroy this time? Destroy is wrong. The tone on that is wrong. I'm gonna take that off. He's like, what business do you have? Like, why are you here? So J2E, I'm gonna take off. Oh, that takes time even. Because these are such... Each of these boxes is actually an HTML. Big old HTML block. And so anytime I have to mess with it, I guess it slows all HTML down. Alright. Naming way. You're that Dark Knight from before. Why have you returned? Like, it's more like, what do you want this time? But it's okay. I'll stick with that. Alright. Next line. Okay, so now Cecil is going to respond. He speaks in like the style that when you first learn Japanese, you're going to learn something called like the MOS form and the DES form. They're like the standard polite form. And he's speaking with that style now. So the Elder is a little bit like, I don't know, not as polite. He's more like just standard. But Cecil's using manners is basically the important thing here. He has manners. Alright, so he says, Hiku te dan o shikiste imashita Seshiru to imasu. My name is Cecil, and I used to command the airship fleet. That's how that works. Alright, so this comes out in Super NES. I am Cecil, the ex-captain of the Red Wings. So we see how things got changed, but it feels like it got an editing pass with all these extra details reinflated. But it's okay. Like, the Red Wings name technically isn't in there, but it's easy enough. Alright, J2E. Wow. Okay. My name is Cecil, and I was the head of Baron's airship force. Okay. What was that? Looks like airship used to be capitalized. Alright, that's fine. Naming way. I am Cecil, former captain of the Red Wings. Alright, that's fine. Okay, Japanese. Ano toki wa ono meidei de... Oh. Ano toki wa ono meidei ni somuku yuki ga arimasen deshita. ... Back then, or at that time, I did not have the courage to defy the king's orders. And again, he's using manners, proper manners, when he's saying all this. He didn't have the courage, basically, to disobey the king's orders. This gets trimmed down to, I could not disobey the king. The king is capitalized. I would fix that, but alright, that's fine. Super NES, good job. Alright. Alright, J2E kind of takes this in a different way. I came here before as a coward, ... I couldn't bring myself to disobey the king's orders. Let's see, how was this before, maybe? Alright, looks like there's some formatting changes there. This part about coward, I don't like that. He is talking about I didn't have the courage. But he's using manners. He's not like being like that, but I'll let it go. It's the same concept. Alright. Naming way, it looks like it might get really good. Before, I did not have the courage to defy the king. Very good. Yeah, naming way gets that better than J2E, I feel. Alright. Next window. The Elder responds. Ayamatte moratte mo shinde te mono tachi wa ikikaete wa kon. He's speaking in a kind of cool, archaic-ish way here. He's saying, even if you do apologize to me or to us, it will not bring back those who have died. Period. And to this, Cecil just says ... because like he can't respond to that. By the way, this is one of the this in Japanese fans, this is one of the lines that they've picked apart. They sometimes will pick apart the elders, because as we've been talking about what actually happened during that first fight, according to Cecil, they didn't even put up a fight. However, and I think other people said the same thing too. However, we did have some imprisoned and we did take Mysidia people, we abducted them and took them back I threw them in a prison. And what else? There's something else. I don't know, but it's all like just inconsistent. Like what actually happened? Yeah, I think if you look at the beginning scene, I think at least 2 people do die. Like they flash away. So everything's very inconsistent. And here, it's clear from that what the elder says that some did die. Okay, so how did this come about? In Super NES, this became apologies do not bring our friends back alive. But, I don't know. Okay, something weird's going on here. Uh-oh. Okay. I'll have to look at the J2E first. Alright, J2E adds now... Wait. Okay. Alright, so J2E had added a line, disobey the king's orders. Now I come seeking forgiveness. That's not the case. That's not the case. That's not in the Japanese text. At least not yet. Alright, so let's see what the elder has to say. Even if you apologize, it won't bring back the people you murdered. It doesn't say murdered, it says who died, who were dead. The tone on that is weird. I don't like that. He's not being like that. I'm gonna take off point there. What was it before? Maybe it was better before. Okay, it was like that before. Alright. Let's see. Okay, now we're looking at naming way. Apologies won't bring back those who've already died. Cecil ... Oh yeah, so Cecil does the ... now in J2E. But there's a weird thing in Super NES, and this is what's tripping me up. He says, the elder says, apologies will not bring our friends back alive, but I can at least listen to your words. Okay, so that's... What's happening? I need to skip down. Alright. So it looks like the Super NES is like just skipping, is like trimming a lot. That's what's going to happen. So it looks like the Cecil's ... there is missing. So we'll take off a point on Super NES. Did I get that? Oh man, it's so slow. I need to get out of the scene. I need to be like Sonic. Alright. Alright, so he does the ... and that's kind of important. Alright. Now the elder continues. So he kind of like slightly like sternly spoke to him, but now the elder says, Shikashi ... 今のそなたからはその姿とは違う輝きのかけらが見受けられる。Whew, it's gonna be a long line. However, ... from you now, I can see like a shred of a glimmer that is different from the way you look or the way you're dressed. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't want to have to recover that sentence. Okay, so that is missing. So basically he's saying that, like, yeah, you did really bad things. However, I sense something like a shine in you. And that's missing in the Super NES at this point. Alright, yeah. So that's missing from Super NES. We'll take that point off. This is one of the longest text boxes in the game from what I recall. So if we can get through this without it crashing, it'll be a miracle. Alright. J2E. However, ... I sense a faint glimmer of light within you that was not there before. Wow, I really like that. Yes, good job, J2E there. I'm not gonna click that anymore. That thing is just gonna kill me. Alright. Alright, so naming right. But now I see a light in you I did not see before. Okay, cool. Yeah, they really managed to squish that down. That was pretty impressive. Alright. The elder continues. Hanashi o kiku kachi wa arisou ja. It seems it would be worth hearing you out. Or just hearing what you have to say. It seems it would be worth hearing what you have to say. Now this is where we get the Super NES, but I can at least listen to your words. It's a little different in the nuances, but it's okay. J2E. It might be worth listening to what you have to say. Okay. Naming way. I will hear your words. Okay. Alright. Cecil now has a big old line of text. Big old block of text here. And he says, Ima wa Baron o Ayatsuru Golbeza. So notice how his name is Golbez-za. Earlier, this dash was missing in some of the Japanese text. I don't remember who was speaking at the time. But I wonder if that was on purpose or just like someone's typo. Look out for the dash, everyone. Let's see how it changes. Alright. Ima wa Baro no Ayatsuru Golbeza toyu mono to tatakatte imasu. Currently, we or I are fighting one known as Golbeza who controls Baron. Alright, that's how that goes. Alright, Super NES. I'm fighting the one called Golbez, who is the mastermind of Baron. I wouldn't say mastermind, but it's good enough. It's kind of a neat word to use there. J2E. I'm fighting Golbeza, the man who is controlling Baron. Okay. But this Imawa, like, that's not... Yeah, it's like saying, before I was bad, but Imawa, but now I'm doing this. Like, it's doing a contrast with the past by saying Imawa. That's what the wa does. It does a contrast. If you're ever curious what wa and ga is, wa does the contrasting. Ga is just a normal, how you would think. Alright. Okay. We will look now at naming way. I seek to stop a man named Golbez who now controls Baron. I don't like that phrasing. I really like that it's fighting. We're fighting him now. We're fighting this guy. Not seek to stop. The details are in there. I'm going to say it's okay. Alright. So his next line is going to break the window. Whenever I say break the window, that means that I have to like do some extra clicking on my sidebar so I can see what he's about to say. Alright. Let me get over here. Alright. So Cecil continues. Shikashi nakama ga toraware, tasuke ni yuku tochu, Ribaya-san ni osowarete, hoka no nakama mo ... That means, however, my friend was kidnapped, and on the way to rescue them, we were attacked by a Leviathan, and the rest of my friends were also ... The rest of my comrades were also ... Alright. There's a lot in that sentence, but it should be okay. I think we'll be okay. Alright, so it looks like Super NES like tries to rephrase things to make it clear what's going on. A girl was captured, so we were on our way to Baron for her rescue, but we were attacked by a Leviathan ... and ... Okay, it does change the details, but I mean, it adds more detail. Yeah, I'm okay with it. It changes things, but all the details are in there, plus extra details. I really feel like I could pick that apart and be picky if I wanted. I don't have the endurance. I'm still like level 5 at this, whatever we call what we're doing here. I'm still at level 5. Okay. J2E. When my friends and I tried to prevent the theft of the wind crystal, he kidnapped one of us. Oh my, we're getting a lot of new text in here. Alright. Alright, so first of all, those details aren't in there, so I'm going to take that off. He kidnapped one of us. And the whole part about the crystal isn't in there either, yeah. We were going to save her, but Leviathan attacked us, and now... Okay. Alright, so I'll just say that the rest on that is okay. That first part was definitely an addition, so let's see how they did it. When did that addition get added? Okay, it was always in there in the old J2E patches. It just did some formatting changes for the updates. Alright. Naming way. I set out to rescue a friend whom he holds captive when Leviathan struck our ship. Okay, all the details are in there. It's weird and squished, but it's okay. Also, I do like this music. It's like kind of rare to get to this music. It's pretty fitting. Okay, Okano Nakamo. Next section. Okay, the Elder responds with ... Soremo sonata ni atairareta shiren jaro. That too must be a trial that has been given to you, has been something like that. Atairu, granted to you. Let me bring this down. Atairareta has been like given to you, bestowed upon you, so like it makes it feel like destiny is given to people. This is the feeling I'm getting. But alright. Elder in Super NES, he finishes the sentence from before. It says, lost your friends, period. It would be your trial, period. That doesn't sound right. I mean, it's pretty good, but it's missing some of the stuff in there. Okay, J2E, you lost ... you lost your friends ... new window. It seems fate has chosen you to endure this trial. It doesn't say fate, and also it's capital F here. It doesn't say that. It doesn't invoke fate or anything yet. I would have liked that to not be there, but because I don't know what their actual like religion is or anything. Okay, so Naming Way says, I don't know what became of my companions, is what Cecil said. That was weird, but I'll skip that. Alright. Naming Way gets kind of good at this. Perhaps this is part of the test ordained for you. Alright. Yeah, that's better. Like, it feels like maybe there's some sort of greater force and that it has provided you this. Shiren is the word used. Shiren is going to be a very common word. So this will be the word for the day. Shiren. 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 And that's like a trial or an ordeal or test, tribulation, Shiren. And so the mountain that we're going to go to is Shiren no Yama or something like that, like Shiren Mountain in Japanese. So Shiren. Alright. Trial, test. Right. Continuing with the Japanese. Shikashi, Ankoken ni tayotte ite wa shin no aku o taosu nu bakari ka. Oh no, we gotta break this window. Oh no, it's a long line. Sonata jishin mo itsu ashiki kokoro ni somatte shimau yamoshirenu. So he's speaking definitely an older, peculiar style. Like an old man, wise guy style. Like wise person style, not wise guy. Alright, however, constantly relying on the dark sword will not only make it like impossible to defeat true evil, you too will at some point be Somaru was a good one. Like stained, or your heart will be stained with evil, possibly too. Does that all make sense? I don't want to try to make that all into one sentence here. That would be like actual my job. Alright. So, Super NES. But as long as you depend upon the dark sword, you cannot defeat true evil. Moreover, you might be consumed. Ooh, consumed is real good here. With its evil at any time. Oh, Super NES, I really like that. Let me give this. I got some new sounds in here. I want to make some new sounds. That's a good one. Okay, there we go. Alright. And J2E. Oh, I gotta close this window. There's like a sun glare. Alright, I'm back. Every time I have to reposition, my audio gets weird, so I hope it's still okay. Yesterday's audio was quite good. There's only a couple parts where it got mumbly. Yeah, consumed by would be definitely better. Oh my gosh, I didn't close it right. Alright. Now, the room is quite dark. I have to avoid that glare. Alright. Where are we now? Consumed with its evil at any time? Yeah, consumed by would be better, but consumed is a good word there. Alright. J2E, it seems fate has chosen you to endure this trial? That's how that started, right? What's going on with this J2E? Doesn't make sense to me. Looks like they might have added just a whole bunch of crap. Alright. It says J2E. This is the line about like you can't just keep relying on the dark sword because it'll like can't defeat true evil and you'll be evil too. So all of this became, and fate, capital F, brought you back here. Okay, I don't like that. You seek to destroy a great darkness. That first half was added in there, I don't like that. But as long as you rely on the dark sword, you cannot defeat true evil. Okay. Your soul is stained with the darkness of your deeds. Oh no, J2E, you're kind of going crazy now. Alright. So, he's saying eventually you might also become stained with a dark heart. Not that you are now. So J2E, I'm gonna lose another point there. That's just a mistranslation there. Got some more text though. Alright, evil is like a cancer. Alright, take that out. It spreads, consuming the soul entirely. I'm pretty sure this is not in there. I'll undo these point deductions if necessary later. It spreads, consuming the soul entirely. You could become as evil as the man you seek. I don't think that's in there. Alright. So I took off all the points necessary for that. So naming way is now, as long as you rely on your dark sword, not dork, you'll never defeat true evil. It will only darken your soul. So here's an important thing. Kokoro is a very important word. Look at that kanji. It's pretty easy to remember it. Just remember that, and that means heart, or core. I think, like Spanish corazon and stuff like that. This is kind of like a faint parallel to all of that, kokoro. And core is like kind of the full meaning of it. So anything that has a core can have a kokoro kind of. But usually it'll be pronounced differently. So anyway, kokoro can mean mind, heart, spirit, and other things. Heart is a good one. Core is the idea. Alright. So that's where the soul stuff is coming from, instead of heart. There's words for soul there's several words for soul, and it's weird that they would translate it as soul here rather than like heart or mind. Alright. Okay, so that one's good. Alright, we're gonna break another window here. Alright. Moshi, sonata ga yoki kokoro de tatakao to nagao naraba. Oops, my pronunciation is weird. Moshi sonata ga yoki kokoro de tatakao to nagao naraba. Higashi ni aru shiren no yama ni yuke. Alright, first, again, he's speaking in old wise man style. And if you're uncertain, like if you're just learning Japanese, you see this yoki here? yoki, when there's a ki at the end of some words like that, of an adjective, think of it as just a modern e sometimes. So yoi kokoro, which is e kokoro. It's are sort of like middle-aged Japanese feeling there. All right, so if you desire to fight with a heart of good, then go to the mountain of Ordeals to the east, or Shiren no Yama. That's what I was telling you about before. So let's look at Super NES now. If you wish to fight against evil with good, go to Mount Ordeals to the east of Mysidia. So it specifically says like east of Mysidia. Mysidia's name isn't involved in the Japanese version. And also there's no like against evil in there, but that's fine. Alright, J2E. If you wish for your faint glimmer to become a radiant light, then go to Mount Ordeals in the east. There's some like, I don't know, flowery poety stuff going on. They're just kind of like, I don't know, punching up. I'm gonna say it's alright. It's weird though. Alright, yeah, if you go west, you're not gonna find it. I'm gonna take off a point on that. There's something about it is bugging me because I think it's gonna connect to some of the lines that happen once we get up onto the top. The yoki kokoro, we're gonna be revisiting that phrase a lot, maybe. I'm not sure yet. Okay, naming way. If you wish to fight with purity, that's how they did yoki kokoro, and go to Mount Ordeals to the east. Alright. That's fine. Okay, Japanese. そこで強い運命がそなたを待ち受けておるはずじゃ. There, a powerful fate should be lying in wait for you there. Like something is lying in wait. Machi ukeru. Like there's something waiting for you there. It's like a powerful fate is going to be waiting for you there. It's kind of fancy phrasing. Oh, okay, that whole line is missing in Super NES, so I'll take that off. Okay, that is also missing from J2E. Okay, naming way. It's their destiny lies. That's kind of strangely formatted, but they've really had to trim this, I guess. This whole box is so crazy big. I'm gonna say it's alright, but it's better than the others at least. Alright, let's continue. Okay, Cecil responds to this. しかし早く仲間を助け出さねば. That neba always gets me. 助け出さねば. However, but, I must save my friends quickly. I must hurry and save my friends. Like he doesn't have time to go to some mountain and do some nonsense. He has to help his friends. Like he's very concerned about saving his friends specifically. So, but I must hurry is how this is in Super NES, and that is missing like those two details. I'm gonna take that point off. I must hurry is a little vaguer. J2E. But I must save my friend. He's already mentioned that one friend got taken, and then the rest got like, something happened to them too. So at this point, he's already identified multiple friends. So I want to take off a point on J2E for that little detail. I might be wrong, it's hard to say. Let me look at the Japanese some more here. Maybe there's something. Okay, so we'll just say this is one, so I'll give J2E that point back. We're gonna say that this is one friend he's talking about. It could be multiple. Yeah, Tasuke Dasu would make sense, yeah, because you're taking it, you're saving and like extracting. So that would make sense if you're helping Rosa. So that's good, okay. But I must save my friend. Naming way, But my friend, she's in danger. Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna say those are okay. The elder responds to this. Sonata no daiji na hito jana. It's an important person to you, right? This person is important to you, right? Correct? Okay, this became, I do understand. So he's restating that he understands the importance of this person to Ciso. He just says, I do understand, so. Okay. Oh no. J2, he's just making up stuff. Alright. Let me, okay, first let's look at naming way. Alright, let me just read this whole box in Japanese. Sonata no daiji na hito jana, shikashi asette wa naran. Sonata wa okina unmei o seotte iru yo ja. This person is important to you, yes, but you must not be hasty. It appears that you bear a great fate on your back, or you just bear a big fate, a big destiny. Alright. So, Super NES, I do understand, but do not hurry. Alright, so the part about like you have a big fate you're carrying on your back or your shoulders or whatever is missing in the Super NES. I'll take a point off. Okay, so J2E is kind of weird here. If you truly cherish this friend, you will endure this trial and be bathed in the purifying light of redemption at the summit. Is that even what's going on here? Alright, I don't even know how to deal with J2E here, so I'm just going to take off. I'm going to take off a point because it looks like at least one line is missing. Man, that's such a hassle with this big text. But you must not hurry, is what he's basically saying, and that was missing. So we'll just say that is a thing. Okay. Naming way. She means much to you, but don't be hasty. You are destined a great fate. I would say it seems you are destined a fate. Great. That yo in there is seemingly. Okay, I'm gonna say that's okay. J2E is being kind of weird, so we'll. Okay, next text box. I'm just gonna read the next two lines. Mazu wa shiren no yama ni nobotte miru ga yoi. Sono jaku na ken o seinaru ken ni kaeneba naranu. For first, try climbing the Mount Ordeals. You must change or exchange or just change that evil sword, the sword of evil, to a sacred sword. Right. So Super NES. At first, you must climb Mount Ordeals and renounce this evil sword and gain the sword of sacredness. The sword of sacredness. They really wanted to avoid holy, probably. The word holy. Sacred is probably safe from Nintendo's prying eyes. Okay. All the stuff in there is nice, though. It's kind of funny phrased. Alright, so what is J2E doing here? What are you doing here? If you truly cherish this friend, you will endure this trial. So endure this trial isn't even a thing. And be bathed in the purifying light of redemption at the summit. Okay, okay, so yeah, this whole part about okay. It looks like there are two lines that are missing from J2E here. I'm gonna take points off there. All right. Naming way. You must climb Mount Ordeals to exchange your dark sword for a sacred one. Okay, it kind of combined them and changed the style of the command. but it's fine. I'll say it's okay. Next part is going to break the text window, so let's go here. Okay, okay, so the Elder is continuing. 聖なる光は受け入れられるものは聖なる騎士パラディンとなれるソルジャーがSo I hear, or I'm told, or something like that, that those who accept or like take in the sacred light can become the sacred knight the paladin, but does all that make sense? I hope. It's kind of a clunky phrasing I just gave. He's just saying that I hear that you can maybe become a paladin, a sacred knight, if you receive the holy light. Super NES. The one who can accept the holy light is called a paladin. It is the sacred knight. So here's an interesting case where holy is in the Super NES script. It looks like the section of the game got less like taken out, or just like more sloppily taken out stuff. So we already saw how prayers made it through one time, and now we have a holy example making it through. I wish I could go back in time and show this to Nintendo and be like, look, just give it up. Look, you've already messed up. I'll go tell all the religious people that you messed up if you don't like let it go. All right. I see what it's going for. I'm okay with it. J2E. You must renounce your dark sword and receive the power of a holy knight. Looks like it's going to say more. A paladin. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to think about this stuff. Oh, good. I can use my little scroll wheel here. Oh, it's kind of funky though. Okay. All right. I don't know what's going on here. It's so weird. I'm gonna be nice this time and not mess with J2E. Everything's in there. Alright, naming way. Then you'll become a holy knight, a paladin. Yeah, it's the whole part about like holy light and stuff. And like I mentioned, this is hearsay. He's heard of this. He is not like, this isn't a thing that happens every day. He just hears that like, this is something that I've heard about. Oh, that hearsay is missing from every version. I would have liked that in all versions. I won't mark off them. But in a court of law, hearsay versus like actual knowledge is a pretty big difference. And this guy looks like a judge. Alright, he's a Phoenix Wright judge. Alright, next part. Saying, oh wait, let me read this part. It's gonna break the line again. Alright. Then he says, oh, that's gonna break another line. Kokorozashi o idaki, shiren no yama e ita mono wa kazu oi ga dare hitori toshite modotte wa kon. So, many have gone to Mount Ordeals carrying like a strong will. Like, what is the kokorozashi? It's always like will, intention, or motive. So like they go there with like a strong intent. Like they go there with intentions. There are many of them, but not a single one has ever returned. So that makes sense. That like, why would he know that you can become a paladin if no one has ever returned? Somewhere in one of these translations, that logic is now broken. I already forgot which one. All right. Super NES, it says it is the sacred knight. That's like the old weird, probably first draft writing there. Right. So many went to Mount Ordeals to be a paladin. Well, I mean, okay, but none returned. Okay, I'll say that's fine. J2E. Be warned, though, many have sought to become a paladin. Oh no. Then Cecil says, they tried and failed. Village Elder says, oh no, they tried and died, ... But you seem to carry a great destiny, ... Alright. I'm gonna assume that some of this is maybe like from earlier, and they moved stuff around and rephrased it. That tried and died, oh, I don't like that phrasing. And oh no, Cecil says they tried and failed. So J2E's lost a bunch of points. Alright. Naming way. However, many have sought to overcome Mount Ordeals, yet none have returned. Okay. Overcome Mount Ordeals is different from like having a motive or an intention in mind. But it's kind of fancier this way, so that's fine. Then there's one more line here. ... Doja, ite miruka. And that's kind of like, what do you say? Will you try going? And that became in Supernius. Will you try? Okay, that's fine. I'll take out another on. No, okay. J2E. What do you say? Will you go? Okay, that's fine. Naming way. Will you try? Okay. Alright, so I'm looking in the chat and they're saying some stuff about stuff being moved around possibly. To be a nice guy, I'm going to give J2E 2 points back. There we go. This was teetering on the negative 100 now that I look at it. Alright, so Cecil goes ... exclamation. And is like a less like good manners version of hi, of yes. It's more like casual colloquial. And he says, yeah, ... yes, or ... yeah. That becomes, well, the ... dots fall out, but it just becomes yes, exclamation, and super yes, ... yes, and J2E, ... yes, and naming way. Okay. I think that is a line that some Japanese fans have picked up on, and it just feels tonally weird for him to say that here. Alright. The Elder continues. Shikashi, Ankoku Kende, Hitori de wa Surakaro. Speaking old fancy wise style. However, with the dark sword, going alone would surely be difficult. So now he's becoming the first old man in Zelda 1. He's saying like basically it's going to be difficult to go alone with that sword. Alright. Super NES, but it would be hard for you alone with your dark sword. Okay, that's fine. J2E. But your dark sword will have little effect on the monsters of the mountain. Alright, so that's not what's being said. Like, I feel like they got a little happy with, they got a little excited about being able to write lore. So J2E, I'll just take that off, because that's not what's being said. Alright, then, naming way. Naming way says good, period. But it will be hard with your dark sword alone, period. So that good is not in the original Japanese. I'll just take that out of the point. I'll take a point off there. But it will be hard with your dark sword alone. Okay, good. Next part of the Elder's text says Madoshi o tomo ni tsukete yaro. I will attach wizards to you, literally. I'll have them like follow you. I'll have them accompany you. I will have wizards accompany you. Actually, it doesn't say plural or singular there, just Madoshi, so it could be either way. But after that he goes Palom Porom. He's shouting two names, so it's clear it's multiple. Right. Super NES, take wizards with you. Palom Porom. J2E, I'll send magicians with you. Palom Porom. Alright, naming way. I'll send some mages with you. Palom Porom. Hooray, we're done. We're done with this section, but we're not done with the scene. Alright. A child walks in suddenly and has a ponytail. It's a girl. the girl says "nanika," and it's like yes. It's, when you're called, that's something you might say. It's like yes, you called or something like that. "Nanika." And the Super NES, that becomes "you called for us." J2E is "what's wrong?" I don't like the tone. Not like it's wrong on there. Naming way, "you called for us." Okay. The Elder says "Palom wa dosta." So what about where's Palom, or what has become of Palom? Because only one of the wizards has appeared. That became where's Palom in Super NES? Where's Palom in J2E? Where's Palom in Naming way? All right, those are all fine. The girl responds, "Palom tara mata," and it's like saying, "Not again, Palom," or like, "Sheesh, come on, Palom," something like that. Just kind of like exasperated at Palom's nonsense. Palom's always up to something, I guess. Super NES, "Palom, come on." Uh-oh, I have a cat talking to me. Are you Palom? You are? Palom, come on. I would have liked something better than that, but that's fine. All right, J2E. "Geez, Palom, not again." And as we click the little book, we can see the G's. It used to be a G-E-easy. They replaced that with a J. And this is a thing that I like to use a G instead of J, because G's is like comes from the word Jesus, right? Or is like something like that. It invokes the image of like that religious stuff. And so going with a G makes it less clear. It kind of softens it. Earlier I would talk about how you don't want to insert accidentally like your own culture's like religious views and things into translations, and G's is a place where that can happen sometimes. I just go with G, but a lot of people go with J. You see them like toying with it there. It doesn't matter to me. All right. So geez, Palom, not again. And the naming way is "Palom, get out here." I would have liked that to be better. Would have liked that, yeah. All right. And then a magical smoke appears, and the other twin appears. This one is a boy. It's identified as a boy. Otoko noko. And so this boy says, "Omega ano toki no baro no yatsuka." So you're that Baron guy from back then. That became, so you are that Baronian guy, aren't you? Would have liked the "you are" to be emphasized. So you're that Baronian guy. Okay, I'm okay with it though. J2E. So you're that guy from Baron, huh? Okay. Yeah, so the point is that this character speaks very casually and loosely and flippantly. And this is just very like kind of snot-nosed, big-headed little kid. Doesn't know manners. Alright, so this comes really well in the J2E. So you're that guy from Baron, huh? Compared to the Super NES. You are that Baronian guy, aren't you? Naming way. So you're that Baron dude, huh? Yeah, see, dude is real good here. It makes it more just like casual, no sense of manners at all. Naming way did good here. Give it a point. Alright, looks like there's an easy type change in here. Let me see. We'll get to that in a second. J2E has a change, just formatting. In FF9, they combine G's with sheesh to create she's. I like that. Sheesh is pretty good. Alright, so the boy has some more text. "Ji-san no meirei dakara shikata naku te o kashite yaru dakara arigataku omoe yo." And this is being like the opposite of polite, whatever you want to call that, rude, I guess. And then it's Gramps. It's like the old dude's orders. So I'm helping you because I have to. So you better be grateful, kind of feeling. He's very just. He's the mean guy. He's like a jerk, big-headed, pompous, I guess. There's a lot of words that we could describe that with. So he's saying like it's the old dude's orders, so I'm doing it even though I don't want to. So you better be grateful. That becomes I'm gonna help you, so thank me in Super NES. I would have liked the part about the orders. The orders would have been important. He's only doing this for orders. Alright. This became in J2E. The old man ordered me to help you. Guess I don't have a choice. You'd better be grateful. Alright, so that's all in there. I like how it's all flows in one sentence in Japanese because it's like just a train, like a single train of thought. And well, yeah, it was just text stuff. Okay. Naming way. Be grateful I get to help you. The part about the orders from the old man aren't there. Like he's showing like he's not even being polite about the elder. So he's just kind of not very good manners kid. Alright. So Cecil looks at the twins and is like, he looks at the elder and goes, Kono futari ga, or Kono futari ga, like who are these two? Or these two? It could go either way. So you're sending these two with me is kind of the idea. And that becomes these two in Super NES. They added an exclamation in there. J2E, these two, exclamation in there too. And naming way, these two. Okay, those are okay. Futari is the word for two people. Alright, we're gonna need to come down here in a second, so. Alright, so he's very dubious about having some kid wizards join him. The wizard, or I mean the main elder guy, goes Sayo, and that means like indeed. That indeed is missing in Super NES. Take that off. Correct in J2E. Naming way is not there. Right. Futago no Madoshi, Palom to Porom ja. And they're the twin wizards, Palom and Porom. So twin wizards is important because that's like their technique, right? Palom and Porom, it just became in Super NES. So the twin wizards, I would have liked that in there. J2E. These two are the twin magicians, Palom and Porom. Okay. Naming way. These are Palom and Porom. Yeah, okay. So it looks like, yeah, it's not clear in Super NES or naming way that these are twins. They're twin wizards. That's like the whole point of their battle techniques and everything too. Alright. The elder continues. Shugyo chu no mija ga tasuke ni naru jaro. They're still undergoing training, but they should be of help. That becomes, they may be of help. They may be of help. Do not be deceived by their appearances. Is that how this goes? Alright, so okay. They may be of help. I would like to know that they were still in training. So I'm taking that off of Super NES. And J2E. They're young and still in training, but they possess power far beyond their years. Alright, so I think this 2 lines in one. We'll come back to it. But it gets the still in training part. Okay, naming way. These are Palom and Porom. Despite their ages, they're quite gifted mages. That's like a poem. Alright. So they're not in training, I guess, according to naming way. Alright. Also, it doesn't say that they're gonna help, that they're gonna be helpful. So naming way, I'll take that one off too. Alright. I'm gonna move to the next line now. I could go multiple ways here. Alright. The elder continues. Mada osanai ga sono shishitsu wa washi ga hoshou suru. So they are still youth, they're still very young, but I can guarantee their shishitsu is like their their quality, I guess, their nature. I can guarantee that they have what it takes, kind of the feeling. So he's giving a guarantee. Like, I personally guarantee it, despite their age. That became, do not be deceived by their appearances in Super NES. I will allow this one. And we'll say that J2E says, but they possess power far beyond their years. We'll say that's what's going on. Like, as a translation, it's pretty far off, but whatever. It just says they're quite gifted mages in naming way. I'm gonna allow that one. All right, next line. Palom. So it took me a while to make a memorization device for this, but Palom, because he's a pal, he's gonna speak like a pal, and he's gonna speak like a friend without manners. That's how I remember this. Palom is the rude one, and which automatically makes the other one the nice polite one. Porom, also Po is like kind of Porom, nice and polite, although she can be rude too. She can be really funny rude sometimes. Alright. So Palom now says, Kono Mysidia de no Tensai-ji, Palom sama ga otomo shite yarun dakara, arigataku omonda na. Kind of repeating what just was said, but the great Master Palom, the genius child of Mysidia, is going to accompany you, so you better be grateful. That's how that all kind of goes. In the Super NES, that becomes be thankful that Mysidian genius Palom will accompany you. Okay, that's pretty good. Getting all that condensed down into that, that's good. J2E. Damn straight. I'm gonna help you, so you better be grateful. Oh wow, okay. So damn straight. I'm gonna take that out. Like, it's good for the rudeness, but it's not what I would do here. The whole point of like, I am the great Palom, I am the genius child of Mysidia, that's what you want. You want that in there. That's missing in J2E. So I'll take off that point. Oh, J2E hit 100, negative 100. What is a good sound for that? Alright. Any more after that? Okay. I guess the point is that it's supposed to be rude enough that the elder is someone's gonna correct Palom in a second. Naming way. You're lucky the mighty Palom will help you. The whole point about being the genius child and like stuff, I would have liked that in there. Okay, so the elder shouts, Parom, that's just Palom. Just gonna like get on like Palom's case here. Palom in Super NES. Palom in J2E. Palom in naming way. Alright. The final sentence of this box is Onushira no shugyo mo kanete orunja. This is saying this also will serve as training for you two. Exclamation. So this is also like for your training. Like, you're gonna help him, but it's also for your training. Alright. Super NES Palom, it's for your own good. That doesn't feel right. J2E, Palom, what have I told you about arrogance? That's not right. Naming way, Palom, behave. That's wrong too. So they all messed up on that one. That deserves Alright, so Porom walks in front of Cecil and does a bow. Like, you can see the sprite do the bow. That's so cool. Porom says, Seshiru-san to oshaimashita ne. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu wa. And very good manners here. This is really good manners. Like, talking up using some keigo. If you ever hear me use the word keigo, this is like when you're being extra, like you've gone one or two levels of politeness up. Like, you're really polite. And she's using that there. You can see that with the san, Seshiru-san also. And the Yoroshiku onegai shimasu is in there. That wa at the end again is like a feminine emphasis particle. And so it helps to just make it feel more feminine. Unfortunately, that just gets translated. When it gets in translation, it just falls out. Alright, so that means your name is Mr. Cecil, correct? It is an honor to be working with you, or something like that. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu is like one of those phrases in Japanese you'll learn on day one, and it has like every meaning of every word ever is in that phrase. So basically it means like, please treat me well for whatever is about to come. Please treat me well. All right. Super NES. Well, period. How do you do, comma, sir? You can see that there's politeness is being reinflated. That's good. I like that. It doesn't mention Cecil's name in there. Like restating the name. Were they listening in when they heard his name? How do you do, sir? I'm happy with this. It's good for what Super NES was in the day. J2E. You're Mr. Cecil, aren't you? I'm very pleased to make your acquaintance. Very good manners. Like, Keigo kind of feels like this, and normal speech would be like, nice to meet you. So normal speech, nice to meet you. Keigo would be like, I'm very pleased to make your acquaintance. Pretty much, it just means like adding a lot more words and like nice mannered words. So when people speak polite in Japanese, it gets real wordy. All right, naming way. Nice to meet you, Sir Cecil. Ooh, I like the Sir Cecil question mark because it's like doing the reconfirmation of the name. Nice to meet you, I would have liked stronger, but I'll say it's okay. Yeah, where were the twins? Porom walked in, Palom did a magical entrance. Alright. Now, Porom walks over to Palom and says, Hora, Paromo. And it's like, hey, Palom, you too. It's your turn, Palom, kind of like that. Palom, it's your turn too. You gotta do it too. That becomes in Super NES, Palom, you must greet him. The whole point is too, like, she did her introduction, like proper greetings, and now the Super NES, or like now it's Porom's turn, Palom's turn. You must greet him. I would have liked the word "to" in there. Alright, I'll let that slide. J2E, hey Palom, go ahead and greet him. No, the point on this is getting wrong. Hey Palom, you too. Oh, it used to be better. Hey Palom, you greet him too. Yes, that used to be better. I'm gonna be a nice guy today. I'm gonna be a nice guy right here. Naming way gets it the best. Come on, Palom, you too. Naming way, I'll give a point. What is a good silent?
I miss you.
Okay, that works too, I guess. All right, so Porom drags Palom. And then Palom does Yoroshiku na Anchan. Yoroshiku na is a very much shorter version of that Yoroshiku onegaishimasu that we saw just in. So they're kind of, Palom is very trimming down this introduction, not really being good manners. And it's like, I would say this is closer to nice to meet you, but it could be better. Anchan is a phrase that is really hard to translate, but dude is real good. Anchan is... This dictionary is bringing up older brother, Sonny, with a nuance of suspicion, and lad, but Anchan from a young kid is going to have a different nuance. Just dude is good. Or Mr. Like, what is like a more casual version of Mr? As dude is pretty good. What's up, my man? I don't know. This became a Super NES. Hi, man. And that's good. It's like between Palom and Porom and the Super NES, we're getting their manners. We're seeing the manners differences. That's really good. I'm really glad that we're able to see that. J2E, pleased to meet you, pal. It used to be pleased to meet you, pal. And they changed that to ya. That's good. That corruption to ya. Naming way. Sup, dude. Did sup exist back then like that? I don't remember sup being a thing. Back in the early 90s, sup? Maybe. Alright, so those all are pretty good. Okay, I gotta pause it. How do I pause it? Oh, I missed it. Oh, wow. Where's the button? I missed that button. Well, something happened and... Oh, well. So they joined me now. And there was a message, and I'm pretty sure there was some changes in there that would have been of interest. Maybe I'll look at it later and talk to you, and I'll share it later. The Elder now says, okay, so Palom and Porom have like melded into Cecil because we're about to like be let loose. So the Elder now says, Tabidatsu no ja, Shiren no yama e, set forth to Mount Ordeals. Paromu Poromu, tanonda zo, Palom Porom. I'm counting on you, Palom Porom. Do what you gotta do, kind of feeling. Alright, Super NES, now to Mount Ordeals. Palom and Porom, do everything in your power to help Cecil. So that part of tanonda zo, which is just like a generic, like, I leave it to you kind of feeling. Super NES expands on that. It says, do everything in your power to help Cecil. Alright. Technically, this tanonda zo is probably referring to the secret orders that were given. The Elder is going to have Palom and Porom kind of like keep an eye on us and spy on us. But do everything in your power to help Cecil kind of deflects from any suspicions, maybe, I don't know. J2E, now go to Mount Ordeals. I would have liked a comma there. That would have gotten better. Now, go to Mount Ordeals. Or now to Mount Ordeals. But it's fine. Palom Porom, I'm counting on you. Okay, so that's all fine. But there was a change. What is it? Oh, just some formatting. Naming way. Go to Mount Ordeals. Palom Porom, you know your task. Ooh, that's good. That's what I was just kind of saying. I would have done an exclamation there. But yeah. The naming way, you know your task, has such a different feel from do everything in your power to help Cecil. That makes everything specific in Super NES. Okay, yeah, I'll take that off. On Super NES. Alright, let's continue. Right, now we can walk around and we got Palom and Porom in our party. She is a Shiro Madoshi, which is the same thing that Rosa is. And it's the upgraded FF1 white wizard class, as we have seen. And in contrast, Palom is the Kuro Madoshi, the black wizard. What spells do they have? Okay, they come with some spells. We've already seen these ones. But we can do the sight spell. Maybe the sight spell will work today. Yeah, all these spells. We were familiar with these spells earlier from Tella. Alright, what I want to do now is go out and save. I need to take a break. I need to go to the bathroom and deal with the cat. The cat is kind of the enemy of the stream right now. Alright, so I'm going to save it. We're at 24. Put 24 in your lottery ticket numbers today. Alright, I'm going to do a save state so I don't have to redo all that. Alright, it looks like I've been streaming for about an hour and a half now. So we spent an hour and a half on that one thing. What I'm going to do is go take that break real quick. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. But I won't leave you guys hanging, so I'm going to leave you guys to look at these Nintendo Power Magazine scans. Look at the crazy art that they tried to sell. They tried to push this on me back in '91, and I was just not accepting it. Did not interest me. He tried hard. Okay, back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully you can hear me. If you can't, then oh well. You'll have to try to hear me through the ether. Alright, shoot, I had an interesting thought. For now, let's like walk around a little bit and one step and we got into a fight. So, in the Super NES, these twins have some techniques taken away, but we can play them now. So, we have attack. We're doing Palom. Palom has attack, black magic, like two-person attack. This is Suyogaru is to like act tough or to bluff or something like that. I forget what this does, so let's try it out. Alright, using the bluff, or like, I don't know, whatever I just called it, it seems to make your magic power go up. That's what it says in Japanese here. Maho no chikara. Okay. Maho no chikara uppu. That means magic power up. In easy type? Did this exist in easy type? Oh man, I don't remember. But the text got changed in easy type to hehenda. And it's kind of like when you're taunting someone. So I guess maybe that's what was happening. Hehenda. But I don't even know if this does anything, to be honest. Alright. So this says magic power up. Super NES is dummied out, so it says D. J2E, magic power up. Naming way, wisdom increased. That's weird, wisdom increased. Alright, I don't know. We'll continue. Okay, so Palom, or Porom, I mean, has attack, white magic, the two-person attack, fake tears, like fake crying. So here's fake crying, and when you do it, it selects all enemies. Alright, and when it works, it says Mamono o awate saseta. So like you caused the monsters to get flustered kind of feeling. What was that before? Oh, and then that became bien in easy type. I'm not really sure what that is. Is that just a crying sound possibly? I think it is. Bien. Alright, Super NES, that's dummied out, so it says D. J2E says startled the enemies. Naming way says the enemy got flustered. I don't actually know what this does, and I think one or two of these attacks, one of these special techniques, actually end up doing nothing. Unless you somehow could get Edge in your party. But we don't get Edge until like at the end of the game, and by then the twins are like, spoilers, they don't survive. These little children, they die. That's the stuff that Nintendo should have been censoring. Right. So here's the, I think this is called Twin, just called Twin, this attack. It requires both twins to be alive at the same time, and they spend a lot of time doing a spell, a powerful spell. Okay, I'm just waiting for them to do their spell. They're still chanting very slowly. It's called Twin Cast in modern translations, apparently. Well, this is why it's important that they be identified as twins. I guess it doesn't need to be twins, but the fact that they're twins really sells it the whole thing. Alright, we're still waiting for them. We're just fighting goblins and Domo Voice, so we're not in danger. Oh, here we go. Alright, so they're about to do a spell called Puchi Flea. That's like petite flare. Puchi comes, I think, maybe from one of the European languages for petite, or like, so that becomes mini, or little, something like that. It means little flare. Puchi Flea. In Super NES, that just becomes flare. But there's a problem, is that flare is actually a spell, a proper spell in Super NES. So take off a point on there. LT.flare in J2E. Used to be called flare also. And it became pyro in naming way. I don't know why. The idea is that it's the miniature version of the powerful spells that we'll get at the end of the game. And they're able to do it because it's two people doing it together, but it's like weakened. So I don't understand why pyro is in here. Flare Jr. would be good. Alright, so I took off a point there. There's one more spell that they can do besides this Puchi Flea. Look at that damage. So that's probably good there. I'm gonna use my cottage now. Alright, I'm gonna use my cottage up here. First one. I have a cabin now outside of Mysidia. Alright. Now what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna go back in. We're gonna go and back into Mysidia, and now that like we have a whole new story event has happened, and we have like a whole new thing pushing us forward, like we have a motive pushing us forward, most of the characters in the town will have something new now. Alright, so we're talking to, I think this was the guy that turned us into a toad before, out in front of Mysidia. He goes, "Omae ga paladin ni nareru monka? You, a paladin?" As if, that's kind of how that feels, like as if you could really be one, as if you could ever be one. He's very like, he's not, he doesn't believe us that we can do it at all. Super NES, want to be a paladin? Ha! How could you? It feels weaker than I would have liked, but it's fine. He's mocking us, but he's more like, there's no way you could ever do it. Yeah, right, it's pretty good for that. J2E, you become a paladin? Yeah, right. The as if feeling is good too if it was in there. And Naming Way also says, you become a paladin? Yeah, right. Looks like they just changed the, Naming Way has a lowercase p on the paladin, and it doesn't have a comma. Naming Way seems to take out commas a lot. Alright, those are okay. Wait, wanna be a paladin? In Super NES? That's not what that is, but I'll let it slide. Alright, let's talk to this other black wizard here. Alright. This one says, Shiren no yama wa tego ai undedo no suda. The Mount Ordeals is a hive of undead, formidable undeads. It's a hive of formidable undeads. How does it say? Tego ai. Difficult, tough, stubborn, redoubtable. I don't know what the word redoubtable means. That's the thing, is when you go through other language dictionaries, you learn more of your own language. It's so weird. So keep translating, keep learning, you guys. Keep buying dictionaries. Don't look on online dictionaries. Suck so bad, you guys. It's so bad. And AI is making it worse. Alright. Then the wizard continues, Ankokuken nanka tsuyo suru monka. And saying like, there's no way that a dark sword or anything like that will ever work on them. Exclamation. Okay, Super NES. Mount Ordeals is full of tough undead monsters. The U and M are capitalized in that. It's kind of interesting. Undead monsters. I want to say that's a band name, and then the band members, the members of Undead Monsters are on there. Right. It's obvious the dark sword will be useless. The tone is wrong, but I'm okay with it. J2E. Lots of powerful undead roam Mount Ordeals. Exclamation. Your dark sword is useless. That's fine. I would say will be useless, but that's fine. Naming Way. Mount Ordeals is full of the undead. Your dark sword will be useless. I really like the fact that it's like a hive or a nest or a lair. Nest, rookery, breeding place, hive, den, haunt. Oh, it's all fine. We're gonna talk to a white wizard now. Oh, we already talked to this one. This is the one that explains the Devil Road. This line did not change. This other white wizard says, Shiren ni tai, sono sugata to ketsubetsu suru no desu. So endure the trial or the ordeal and separate from your appearance. So like endure the trial and like become something different from what you currently look like, is how that kind of just feels. In Super NES, just endure the time of trial and get away from your mind of darkness. It gets kind of wonky. I'm going to just mark off on that. All the points are in there. It's just really awkward. J2E. Endure the trial and accept the holy light. That's not what's being said. So let's see what it used to be. Okay. Marking that off in J2E. Accept the holy light is not what is being said. It's saying part with your current self. Like your current self, you need to separate from it. Naming way, endure this trial and cleanse the darkness within. It's getting to the point indirectly, I'm okay with it. I think this one in front of the Devil Road is still saying the same stuff. Yes, okay, so we'll skip that. Okay, here's another black wizard. Oh, we already talked to that one. Okay, here's the white wizard that is scared from us and jumps away and jumps into the trees. Yeah. And again, that's like just a shocked sound. Anta ga paladin ni naru tte. You are going to become a paladin? Jodan janai daro ne. You gotta be kidding me, right? That's kind of how that feels. Okay, Super NES. Wow. You becoming the paladin? You can't fool me. I don't like that one. Take that off. Okay, J2E. Oh, you become a paladin? You're joking, right? Okay, that's better. Naming way. Eek. Yeah, so the wow and the O were kind of weird. We'll take off on that. And naming way becomes eek, which is good for here. You a paladin? You cannot mean that. So you gotta be joking or something like that. That's fine. Alright, so she's gonna jump away. No, she's not. She's not that scared of us anymore. Our relationship has blossomed. She doesn't jump for me now. Alright, so there's two more people up here. We'll talk to this white wizard here. This white wizard specifically seems to be has been a lot nicer in general, more understanding. Alright, and here the wizard says Ara, which suggests a feminine gender. Ara, Palom Porom. And it's like, oh, Palom Porom. Shiren no yama nara higashi yo. If you're looking for the Mount Ordeals, it's to the east. Yeah, that's a feminine feeling. Super NES. Hi, Palom and Porom. Mount Ordeals is east. Okay. J2E. Oh, hello, Palom Porom. Mount Ordeals is to the east, and east is capitalized for some reason with capital E. That's so weird. Right. Naming way. Mount Ordeals lies to the east, and I don't like that. I really like that this is like, this wizard recognizes the people in our party, and it makes it feel a little bit more like this town is alive and has a life to it. Take that out. Naming way. Like it feels more lived in slightly. Like, hopefully that makes sense. All right. This other black wizard says, Shiren no yama ni wa oku no mono ga idonda ga dare hitori kaite konakatta. So many people challenged Mount Ordeals, but not a single person has ever returned. Alright, Super NES. Many tried to overcome Mount Ordeals, but no one ever came back. Okay. J2E. Lots of people have challenged Mount Ordeals, but no one has ever come back. Okay. There's a change here. Let's see what it is. Just some formatting. Alright, naming way. Many have braved Mount Ordeals. None have ever returned. Okay, that's fine. Let's go back in here. Let's talk to the, okay, we're gonna talk to the Elder. I don't want to ignore him. Okay, we already saw this line. Yes. Hooray. Alright, so we're talking to the black wizard next to the Elder. The wizard says, Paladin ni nareta nara shinjiru koto ni itashimasu. So being quite polite here, quite formal, and saying, if you are able to become a paladin, then we shall put our faith in you. We shall believe you. Kind of like that. We will trust you. Okay, so Super NES. I will trust you if you become a paladin. Okay. If you're able to become a paladin, is what I would say. J2E. If you become a paladin, I will trust you. That's fine, but let's see. Yeah. Here's is it like can become? Like the whole point is can become, not if you become. Like just simply become. If you can become. And it sounds like a nitpick, but there's a difference in there. But I won't mark off on any of that. become a paladin and you'll have my trust, says Naming Way. That's quite good. I would put a little more politeness in there, and it would be the best. If you put you shall have my trust, maybe. Alright. White Wizard next to the Elder says Tameshite kuru no desu. So go and attempt it, or go and try. Try and come back is literally maybe how that comes, and it's kind of in a interesting way. That becomes try in Super NES. J2E, go find out. ... Let me just read the whole thing. Tameshite kuru no desu. Anata ga hikari o ukeirareru ka douka. Oof. Go try and see whether or not you can accept the light. Is how that all goes. There's 2 sentences. Technically. Try. Go and see if you can accept the light. Okay, very good. The light is capitalized with L. J2E, go find out ... Find out whether you can accept the light. I would have liked periods here. It's weird that they did the ... dots everywhere. Naming Way. Go and see if the light accepts you. Okay, that's kind of interesting. That's fine. Alright, so here's this other Black Wizard. Last time we talked to this Black Wizard, he was talking about like where do evil hearts come from? We're all innocent babies from the start. And that line is like very easily missed if you don't talk to everyone. And it's like kind of a profound statement in like this wacky fantasy story. So some fans say, hey, don't miss that line. Alright, so this Black Wizard is going to explain to us what paladins are. Paladin to wa sei naru kishi. A paladin is a sacred knight. Ankoku kishi no taikyoku o nasu mono. It is like the reverse, is like the opposite of a Dark Knight. Alright, Super NES. Paladins are the sacred knights of light. So light wasn't technically in there, but that's fine. Just the opposite of Dark Knights. Okay. The way he speaks is like a scholar a little bit. So if that helps with anything, okay. J2E. The Paladin is a holy knight, the opposite of a Dark Knight. Naming Way. A paladin is a warrior of light, opposite of a dark knight. I would have liked knight instead of warrior, because Kishi is technically like... is it even in here? Kishi? It's not on my little dictionary thing here. It should be. It doesn't matter. I guess they just didn't like knight twice. I think the books are all the same. So it looks like Super NES and Naming Way, like Naming Way is slightly under it, but again, like there's margins of errors to think about, and the rating system is so weird, it can go multiple ways, and it's just how I feel at the moment sometimes. So just try to look at it more like step back on a graph, and they probably would be just like on the same level if this was a graph. J2E is slightly above it, but they're all still very much in the negatives. Oh, I can't go back there yet. Okay, we're gonna walk around some more, and then we're gonna go to this armor shop. Let me make sure I got everything. Yeah. Go to the armor shop. FF4 is not Woolsey. Okay, so the Black Wizard in the armor shop, who was like, you suck, you'll never get to touch this stuff, you're an evil Dark Knight. Before, that's what he said. But now he's saying, Buji ni kaete koretara, koko no wuki ga tsukaeru ga, ... mazu muri daro. And he's saying, if you're able to make it back safely, then you'll be able to use the weapons here, but ... There's just no way that's gonna happen. That's kind of how that feels. There's just no way for you. This changed in the easy type. From Koko no Buki ga... Oh, okay, yeah. So it says weapons here. The weapons here, originally, this got changed to say the weapons and armor here in the easy type. So they kind of like... because the shops are in separate buildings, they kind of filled it out. Kind of filling in a loophole, I guess you could say. Okay, Super NES. If you can come back, you will be able to use these, but that's impossible. I would have liked this phrase better, but that's fine. J2E. If you can come back in one piece, you'd be able to use the weapons here, but that's impossible. What was that before? Probably impossible? Yeah, it was probably a good call to take out that probably. I'm not sure. I gotta think about that more later. Alright, naming way. If you come back, you'll be able to use these. Heh, yeah, right. Yeah, that hey, yeah, right is probably really good. If you come back in one piece is important though. Like if you come back in alive safely, if you make it back safely, just if you come back. These. Super NES also just says these. Would have liked to know what these stands for, so I took off points. It's very minor. See, like I do minor things sometimes like that. Alright, while I'm here, what do these twins have on? Okay, so they have the plumed hat, the leather clothes, and an iron bracer thing. What I recall doing is just get like the best I can get of everything. So get that, whatever that is, get that. Put that on Porom first to see how this goes. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's good that I have all this. I have all this money. Okay, so let me do that again for Palom. Alright. We're actually going to be strong. Usually by this point I'm kind of like low on money. It was nice to be able to do this. Just get everything I want now. Like I can buy all of the paladin stuff right now, and then when he becomes a paladin, then I can just drop it on him. That'll be nice. Okay, you guys are watching me do my finances. I'm selling all their equipment. They joined us. They aren't fashionable enough for Cecil. The fashion police have arrived, and we're just like selling all of their stuff now. Alright, so that's fine. I am gonna do the, I'm gonna buy all of the paladin equipment ahead of time. Alright. It's like, I'm a big spender today. They don't mind, because I have all this money now. I do like to give them weapons here. Yeah, also someone mentioned that if you come back, it doesn't imply that if you come back as a paladin, it's just if you come back. Like if you step outside and come back, that's not the same. Alright, so I like to give the flame rod. Let me get 2 flame rods. Also I want to get the healing rod. I could probably do the crossbow thing, I don't care. Right. So I usually give the curing rod to Porom. Is that good? Hopefully it's good. At least it'll heal stuff. And then I like to give the flame rod to Palom. Because we're about to fight undead, so that's nice. Then I will sell those. Sell your rod. And I'm sure you got it from like your parents, but it doesn't matter. Alright, I think we're good. We're set here. We're gonna go check out the pub. And I think it's like the last room. I don't think there's anything in the item shop, but let's check the item shop. Okay, nothing crazy in here. I want to get to the cure-all items, so I can just get rid of all the junk cure things that I got. But yeah, so Palom and Porom are at level 10 right now. So we're in the pub again. And this guy who was like, oh, please don't hurt me, please spare me, or whatever. Last time, he's about to say that this time. But then he changes what he says. So in Japanese, he goes, kanben, ... shiren no yama ni noborareru. And it's like, please spare, ... huh? You're climbing Mount Ordeals? Alright. Super NES. Please. What? You climb Mount Ordeals? Okay, that's quite good. It even does like the stuttering in there. I really like that. J2E. Please. Shpe. So this was last time we saw this guy, J2E gave this guy a drinking, like he's drunk. speaking style. I'm pretty sure if I click this, we'll see that it was added in the recent patch. Yeah, they put the H in there. Okay, so please spare. Huh? You're going to climb Mount Ordeals. Okay, so that weird tick, that weird like drunkenness in there is a little off. I took off a point there. Naming way. Complete what? You're going to Mount Ordeals? That's fine. Technically it says climb, but that's fine. Alright, we're gonna talk to this other black wizard. And this was a drinking one. This guy does drink. It doesn't look like he says it here though. He doesn't look like he's drunk here. Oh my god, Paladin. You a paladin? Hehe. Warawaseru nattenda. So like, don't make me laugh. Hehe, don't make me laugh. Something like that. You, so this is Super NES now. You becoming a paladin, bye, you make me laugh. Okay, that's fine. He's technically saying don't make me laugh is what, but it's like a slang kind of thing going on here. J2E, hick. So there's no drinkingness in this Japanese one. He was drinking before, but there's no drinkingness in this one. He might be sober for all we know in this one. J2E, hick. You become a paladin, he he he, ha 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 ha. I'm gonna just take a point off because it's weird. It looks like it was better originally. Looks like an editor came and took things out and added all that extra laughs. It used to be, you become a paladin? Ha, don't make me laugh. So yeah, that's quite close to what it used to be. Naming way, you a paladin? Bahaha, hick. There's the drinking in this again. There's no clear drinkingness in it. I'll take off there. I mean, we're in a pub, he's at a table, he could very well be drunk, but it's not conveyed in Japanese, so I won't do that. Okay, so this white wizard says, Palom Porom, kono hito shinyo shicha dame yo. So it feels like a feminine speech style again. Palom Porom, you mustn't trust this person. Super NES, Palom and Porom, never trust this Dark Knight. So person became Dark Knight. I'll allow it. J2E, Palom Porom, don't trust this man. Okay, I mean person would be nice, but it's fine. Naming way, Palom Porom, don't trust this man. Okay. So again, I really like that these NPCs are now talking to Palom and Porom with us right there. Alright, now we're talking to the bartender. The bartender previously poisoned us politely, but this time they say, Anta ga paladin ni dattara ore demo naresou da. You become a paladin? In that case, I bet I could be one too. So like, kind of just dismissing the fact that he could become one. Like, if it's that easy, I could be one too. Super NES, are you gonna become a paladin? Question exclamation. Then I can become a paladin, comma too. The tone on this feels strange. I think it's just the kind of clunky writing of the first draft, maybe. J2E, you a paladin? Ha, hell, I can be one too. That's pretty good. Alright, naming way. You a paladin? Huh, not a chance. I really like the fact that he like points it at himself. He's like, I could be a paladin just as well as you. So I'm gonna take off that. It's kind of the spit of it. I don't even know if that makes sense. Okay, so the dancer girl is here. Is she gonna turn us into pigs even though we have Palom and Porom? Let's find out. Uh-oh, she's gonna dance. Mite mite watashi no dansu. The pig witch dancer probably does not change what they say. Yeah, we're getting pigged. Alright. This old lady, I guess, didn't recognize Palom and Porom. Unless they're not pigged. That would be so cool if they're okay, but Cecil's not. Fa fa fa. Shuyo ga tari no. Alright, so we already encountered that last stream. Oh, they all got pigged. It was indiscriminate pigging. I don't think they have what it takes to cure it themselves. I have items to cure it. But again, this is an exclusive or operation. So it could be done. We can just talk to her again and become better. So I was talking yesterday, I was making just a joke about how this works, how you can just do this and it'll undo it. And then I made a joke comparing that to computer science. And then that got me thinking though, some of these spells like this, they work like an exclusive OR gate. Some spells like the twin cast spell, those are an AND gate. I don't know what else, there's an OR, I guess OR might be like poison. But the feeling I was getting though is that you could take these spells and in a really funky way, you could try to make a microprocessor. Like you could make like a very basic arithmetic adder using magic this way. It'd be fun. You know, like people will make computers using Minecraft, just like CPUs, and you go into the Minecraft world and you can just do CPU stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Like you could theoretically use these magic spells in the world of Final Fantasy IV to create like binary devices. You could get some basic binary computers. That would be fun to try. They're Turing complete. Alright, so that's all for Mysidia. We're gonna leave Mysidia now. Well, yeah, let's leave Mysidia and then we'll do some just like, we'll go and grind and look around. Swinery instead of binary, I like it. Alright. We're gonna, I kinda wanna level up as we walk east to Mount Ordeals. Alright, so we just got a first attack on some old enemies that we know. I'm just gonna do Cecil's Dark Wave. Turn on this light. Boop. So I remember, I don't remember what year it was. It must have been like 93, maybe it was 92, in like the autumn of 92 or 93. The Phoenix Suns were about to get Charles Barkley, and they even changed like their uniforms. They got like a new logo. So the Phoenix Suns, I was really a big fan of them back in the day. And I associate like all of that news of like the Phoenix Suns leveling up with me leveling up here, because I was doing leveling up here. And I think that year they actually made it to the finals, right? And they fought Chicago Bulls. And they did a real good job. They made it to the finals. The Phoenix Suns rarely ever get that far into the NBA. They've never won. Before I die, the Phoenix Suns need to win the championship. Otherwise, I'm going to keep coming back like Castlevania. Alright, so we got the second Blizzard spell. Burizura. Burizara. That's like Blizzard Ra in Japanese. It became Ice 2 and Super NES. Ice 2 and J2E. Alright. We learned Pokey. It's called Pokey. The same way that Pokey's name is spelled in Earthman. What's up? Okay. I gotta take a break in a second to talk to Poke. So I'll leave it on here and I'll set you guys up the bomb. Quick break. Okay. I'll be back in a second. Okay, hopefully you can hear me. There was some stuff I had to do. I had to get some things figured out. Okay, we'll be back. I'm gonna get this bigger. Sorry for that break. Let's continue. So this is how Poki's name is spelled in Earthbound. Poki. P-O-O-K-I-I. Then this becomes Piggy and Pig. But yeah, this stuff won't show up right. Alright. And then now Porom has leveled up. And we got the life spell, Deizu. Comes from Raise. We saw that before. Oh, let me try it. I'm gonna try that spell finally. Someday I'm gonna get this thing to turn. I can probably just find a Game Genie code. I'll make that and show you guys what I mean. And then I'm gonna try to get it to happen naturally. Raise, Curios or whatever it was. All right. We're fighting a zoo. Not an animal sanctuary, but a giant raven thing, condor. But luckily we have the Deathbringer still. Right. So it's kind of nice. Oh, we got an item. It's kind of nice that I get to fight now, like after we were doing all of that text. So most of the rest of the day, we'll probably be just doing a lot of fights, and then we'll do some of the stuff in here. Oh, I forgot to come here before I got Palom and Porom. I wanted to do that. So here's where we need to go next. This is Mount Ordeals. I always forget if it's Ordeal or Ordeals. I think sometimes they're inconsistent. But let's do this part for now. Let's get this part. So this is Shiren no Yama Iriguchi. This is like Mount Ordeals entrance. And Super NES, the entrance word is missing. J2E has it, but what changed? Oh, they added a hyphen. Alright, the naming way doesn't have entrance. It's not a huge deal. You can just fall off the mountain. There's an entrance everywhere. You just gotta fall. Alright, so there's big fire blocking the way, but we have to get to it first. Ooh, we're fighting some new enemies, so let's look at these enemies. Alright. We're fighting 2 red skeletons. And, well, I mean, that's not what they're called, but they're like red-looking skeletons, and we're fighting a snake lady. The red skeleton monsters, in Japanese, they're called Bloody Bone. So that means bloody bone. And then an easy type, because that's an English word, they switched it to the Japanese words, Gaikotsu Senshi, and that's a skeleton warrior. Gaikotsu is skeleton, Senshi is like a warrior. Is it in here? No. Why is that so low? Okay. So that's how they changed that in easy type. In Super NES, Bloody Bone became Red Bone. J2E, it's Bloody Bone without a space. Naming way, it became Red Bones. Which one do you prefer? And then we need to check the Snake Lady. The Snake Lady is Dirisu. That means Lilith. And this is another case where in Japanese they don't have the TH sound, so they use the S sound instead. So it's like L-I-L-I-S-U, Dirisu is how that comes about. But we all know that's Lilith. And I'm pretty sure that's like a biblical thing, maybe other stuff too. It seems to be used in Final Fantasy a lot for like snake ladies. Maybe just Japanese entertainment in general. Same with Lamia. Alright. So while I'm here, I do want to point out that Cecil's his sword isn't that bad against skeletons, but when it comes to like other things, it's kind of bad. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to try the fire rod here, the flame rod, and see what happens. Alright, so I'm just kind of wasting my time here. I can use this cure staff as an item to like just do some small cure stuff there. Alright, let me just do a single flame rod there. I do know that this Lilith enemy, if it hits you, sometimes it can do a thing that will like confuse you and make you attack your own friends. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I didn't level them up at all. You're not ready for this part yet. Let's just do that. See how this goes. Oh, I need to get rid of my potions. Okay. Only Lilith remains. Man, those high potions, those are good. What can I do here? I'm just gonna do the unless I can kill her here. Yeah, she does the slap there. Palm slap. Oh, it like paralyzed Cecil. He's not looking good. Oh, things are looking bad. The situation looks dire. Come on. Oh, okay, so Porom has fallen, and so their twin attack will not work. Synchronization fell apart. Alright, we just need to run. Better run. Woo! We survived. I want to do this cutscene first, and then we'll leave this place. Get that out of there. Then I'm going to do Phoenix down, bring Porom back. Okay. It's 25 hours in. Okay, so there's this big fire in the way. I didn't prep for this part of the game. But okay, so the cutscene has begun. Palom, where Porom says, Palom, debanyo. That means, Palom, you're up. Like it's your turn. Super NES, your turn, Palom. J2E, Palom, this is your department. That's pretty good. I really like how... No, wait a minute. Porom is supposed to be more polite. This is your department, less flippant, but that would have fit Palom better. That's okay though. Anyway, your turn, Palom. Alright. And then Palom says, Iware nakutate wakateru yo. You don't need to tell me, I know. Alright, Super NES, I know, you don't have to say that. J2E, sometimes I amaze even myself. Whoa, J2E. So J2E gets that off. It used to maybe be something better. It's hard to be humble when you're great. Oh my gosh, it used to be worse. Alright, naming way. I know, you don't have to remind me. Okay, that's fine. J2E, being weird. Did I mark one off on... Okay. Alright, so Palom shouts, Burizado! And if you know Japanese, you can see the strange formatting here. It goes from hiragana to a strange katakana back to hiragana, or the other way around. Katakana, hirakata. And they changed that in the easy type to be more like correct, I guess you could say. Just shouting Blizzard, Brizado, Super NES, Ice, J2A Blizzard, naming away Blizzard. Okay, sorry you had to listen to the fire for so long. That's the longest anyone has had to listen to that. So the Blizzard spell has put out the giant fire, blocking the way forward. Palom jumps up and does a spin. It says, Zatto konna monsa, and that's like, easy as, like, no sweat at all, easy as pie, something like that, I don't know. That becomes, and Palom, piece of cake. That's perfect. J2E, no problemo. That feels, strangely like cultural. No problemo. It used to be problemo to begin with. They put a space between the M and the O. No problemo. I guess that's fine. It kind of feels like it's pulling from Spanish, which is strange to do in the world of Final Fantasy. In this case, piece of cake and naming way. All fine. Easy peasy. Yeah, there's so many good things you could come up with here. Zatto konna monsa. Porom walks up and bops them on the head and goes poka, but then I missed it because there was a timed thing on that. So I missed that line too. I missed 2 lines today. Oh no, the cat is at the door. Alright, so Porom shouts, Paromu. Okay, this is fine. Paromu. Ogori takabute wa. Ogori takabute wa. Blah, I can't say this right. Ogori takabute wa ikenai to chouro ga oshatteiru desho. That means, Palom, you know that the Elder says not to get big-headed or something like that? How does this come across here? not to get arrogant. Oops. To be haughty. The phrasing is kind of fancy. I was kind of stumbling on the fancy phrases there. So they changed that in the easy type to unoborete wa ikenai to chouro ga itsumo oshatteru desho. That means you know that the elder always is saying to not get big-headed, to not be full of yourself. And that's how that goes. Super NES. Palom, our elder, taught us not to submit to arrogance. The tone is weird, but it's in there. J2E. Palom, our elder taught us to be humble. There's a our elder taught us to be humble, or our elder taught us not to submit to arrogance. I'm getting that from that desho there. Also, she's speaking very politely about the elder. Alright. I'm okay with that. Palom, elder taught us not to submit to arrogance. Alright, these are all okay. I would have liked better phrasing. This is the famous line from the Google translation I did 10 years ago. I think this is even on the back cover of the book I wrote about it. But it was like, Palom, the elder, or something, the enema says not to wear a basketball on the head, or something like that. Something about enemas and basketballs on the head. It got really funny. It's one of my favorite lines. I'll show that next time, probably. Right. And now, Porom walks up to Cecil and says, Dewa, mairimashou, Sesshiru-san. Now then, let us go, Mr. Cecil. That becomes, shall we go now? The use of shall is really good because it shows like a politeness that just that single word can do a lot. Shall. J2E. Anyway, let's go, Mr. Cecil. Okay, yeah, I used to say, Paromu, the enema is saying that you should not wear a basketball. So good. Alright. And then, naming way, Porom just says, shall we? That's fine. Alright, but something is about to happen. Something unusual is about to happen. The game cuts away from the scene. We're not in charge of the party now. The game cuts away to a black screen. Then a window that says Ippo sono cordo ... Meanwhile, this is what that means. Oh my gosh, this cat. What? Okay. So Ippo sono cordo is a good way of saying meanwhile. You could literally parse it as on the other hand at that time ... But just meanwhile is really good. So we have meanwhile in Super NES, at about that time in J2E, and meanwhile ... At about that time comes pretty clunkily. Clunkily, is that a word? Alright, sinister music plays, and we see a new place we've never seen before. It's kind of mechanical looking chamber. Golbez stands in the center, Kane behind him, and next to Kane is Rosa, all tied up. And it's hard to see, but there's a blade, a big old axe looking thing above Rosa, like she's about to die at any moment kind of feeling. Alright. Yeah, the axe got changed to, let me see if I can bring it up. This axe got changed to like a big iron ball. Yeah, you can see it now. You can see it there. Well, now you can't because there's text in the way. Alright. So Golbez now speaks. Ideo, Scarmilione. That means come forth, Scarmilione. Scarmilione, however we want to say it. This became in the Google translation Skull Million. I love Skull Million. Alright. So come forth. It's like a fancy word of saying it too. Ideo. Come, Milon. It says in Super NES, so Scarmilione, way too long to have in the enemy battle text window. The battle enemy name. So that just all got squished down to Milon. Come, Milon. I won't take any points off though. J2E, come Scarmilione. And then the same in naming way. Like, come forth. I summon you kind of feeling. Some magical thing is happening, and a bad evil guy appears. And then Skull Million, Scarumirione says, Tsuchi no Scarumirione Kochira ni. And that means a Scarmillion of Earth has arrived. Or like, yeah. So Super NES, that goes Milon of Earth at your service. That's really good, I like that. J2E, dash gurgle dash ... Scarmiglione of Earth ... at your service ... So the gurgle part doesn't make sense. I'm gonna take off on J2E. What did that used to be? The gurgle was there all along. That's strange. I think the gurgle is probably for what happens later when we hear weird sounds, but that's not in there at all in Japanese, so point off for J2E there. Naming way, Scarmiglione of Earth at your service. Okay, nice. And then Golbez says, Ano seshiru tokayu mono anadoren. And that means that one known as Cecil or something cannot be underestimated. We cannot underestimate that Cecil or whatever. That's how that feels. Like, he's not even really sure of Cecil's name. He's just like, Cecil or whatever. That one called Cecil or whatever. Like, so he's kind of dismissive about it. And it also shows that he doesn't remember anything about... Well, he's being brainwashed, so he doesn't remember that Cecil is his brother. Spoiler. Alright. Super NES, this line became, we must not leave Cecil alive. Period. Oh my gosh, the cat is being annoying again. Alright. I was walking around on the desk, and sometimes she'll step on the keyboard and hit the microphone, so I can't let her up here. Alright. We must not leave Cecil alive. So it's more like we cannot underestimate him. I don't like that. I'm gonna take that off there. J2E. That Cecil could be a problem. Alright, that's fine. Naming way. Cecil aspires to become a paladin. No, that's not what's being said. Yeah, the cat wants to play the game. Alright. So the next line by Golbez is Ima no uchi te o ute oita hou ga yosasou da. It seems it would be best to make a move while there's still time, while we still can. It's like it would be best to make a move in advance while we still can. And that became, we'd better make a move against him in Super NES. It seems it would be good. It would be best to make a move in advance. This is kind of how it feels in Japanese, but alright. J2E. That Cecil could be a problem. We should get rid of him before he becomes one. Oh no, J2E. I forgot whenever time Golbez is in here, J2E adds things everywhere. So we're gonna have to look at J2E in more detail in a second. Okay, naming way. It was Cecil aspires to become a paladin. We must clip his wings now. Oh my gosh. It feels like they're trying too hard there. I'm gonna allow it though. I'm not gonna be a Golbez right now. Alright. So Golbez continues with many more sentences. Sai wa yatsu wa ankoku kishi. Fortunately, he is a dark knight. Alright. Well, let me just read this whole part. Sai wa yatsu wa ankoku kishi. Fortunately, he is a dark knight. Omae no hikiiru undead tachi ni wa sono ken mo niburo toyu mono. That means, unfortunately, he's a dark knight. That means that his sword will be dull against the undeads that you lead. Okay, so that's how that goes. Super NES. Fortunately, his dark sword is nothing to fear for your monsters. That's kind of a neat way of doing all that. I would have said undead. Undead needs to be in there. Okay, I won't take off on the undead missing. Alright, J2E. He's a Dark Knight, so he should be powerless against your undead. The fortunately is not in there. I would have liked that fortunately. Like, this is to our advantage. Whoa, naming way cut a lot out. Alright. So it looks like there's at least 3 lines missing. Like this whole box is missing from naming way at least. So that's 3 sentences. I'm gonna take 3 off of naming way. 1, 2, 3. Alright. So this next line by Golbez is Daga Yatsu wa Shiren no Yama o Nobotte iru. However, he is currently climbing Mount Ordeals. Alright, so that became in Super NES. However, he's climbing Mount Ordeals now. Okay. J2E. But he's climbing Mount Ordeals. Okay. And again, this is missing from the naming way, so I took off that point already. Okay. So Scar Milione says Dewa Paradin ni ... question mark, which means in that case, then the unstated verb here is like he intends to become a paladin. It's the way Japanese works, is that the verbs at the end can be left off. Alright. Super NES. Then he is to become a paladin. That's good. J2E. Then ... he intends to become ... dash his ... a paladin. Okay, the hiss is in there, and I don't know why. I'm going to take that out. The point off on J2E there. What was J2E going on here? Okay, just a lot of formatting thingies on J2E. What's going on in the easy type? Okay, so the part about it will become dull. His sword will become dull against the undead became like, will not work on the undead. There's kind of fancy wording there. Oh, I gotta close the window soon. Alright. Naming way. You are wise to call me, sir. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to look back up here. Oh wow. Okay, naming way got like rearranged everything, took some of Golbez's lines and gave them to his underling instead, and kind of just rearranged the whole conversation. That's why I'm struggling here. And J2E is adding things in the middle. And then I have a cat talking to me. Okay, I'm gonna close the window real quick, just a second. Yeah, basically anytime there's Golbez, we're gonna expect, because he's like the axis, whatever we call it, the axle of how the story flows. Everything kind of revolves around him. So anytime he's involved, we're gonna hit a lot of these kind of problems. Alright. You're wise to call me sir. Alright, that's not right in naming way. That's not even in the Japanese. You're wise to call me sir. His dark sword is useless against my undead army. Okay, we'll worry about that when we get to that stuff. Alright, so he intends to become a paladin, is not even in there, so that line's missing in naming way. Alright, so Golbez says in response to, so he intends to become paladin. Golbez says, So naru mae ni shimatsu suru naga omae no yakume. So before he becomes that, getting rid of him is your duty. It is your duty to get rid of him before he can do so. Before he can become one. Yakume, yeah, could be a mission. Your mission is to dispose of him beforehand, comes the Super NES. Very good, very good. I like dispose of.
Excellent.
Alright. J2E. Obviously, you must kill him before he does. I'll say that's fine. I wouldn't... This obviously feels like the punch-up writing that J2E likes. Oh my gosh, naming way, I don't know what to do about you now. Alright. I'm gonna take off another point on naming way here. Because it looks like stuff got moved and rearranged, but then like reassigned, and that's not good. See, Golbez was saying, dispose of him, that's your job. And then the naming way has the underling saying, we shall dispose of him. Like, the mission is, he doesn't even have a mission, technically. Alright, so Scarmiglione, am I even saying that right? In whatever language, I assume that's Italian or something. Goshinpai muyo, so he's being pretty formal. There's no need for worries. Gorubeza sama wa yukuri koko de goran kudasai. Master Golbez, please stay here and just watch. Please just watch and observe. So Master Golbez, you stay here, take it easy and just watch. Watch things unfold kind of feeling. Alright. Alright. So all that became yes, my master, and every word in that sentence has a capital letter at the start. Yes, my master. Alright, so there's at least... Oh my gosh. Alright, so those two lines are not in Super NES properly. There is a line in there, but it just kind of changes them. J2E, do not worry. Okay, that's proper. Although the dots could be better. You can enjoy watching his death, Lord Golbez. Okay, so with the Sama in there is how we got the Lord, so that's good. You can enjoy watching his death. There's nothing about his death, but whatever. We were just talking about disposing of him. But that feels like such a punch-up to watching his death. You can enjoy just watching. Okay, whatever. Okay. There's naming way doesn't have that or that. Okay, so naming way has fallen under 200, negative 200 now. Alright, so Golbez now responds, Dewa, Yuku ga yoi. In that case, may you go, or something like that. In that case, go now, go forth. Exclamation. Golbez says in Super NES, very well, period. He's sending him forth now, like, Dewa, Yuku ga yoi, now go forth, something like that. I would have liked that nuance in the Super NES, I won't mark it off. J2E, then go. Okay, that's fine. That line is missing from naming way. Take off point there. Then I think there's one more line here. Scarmiglione goes ha, ... And again, ha is like what you say to a superior officer. When we would say probably in English, yes sir, or yes sir, something like that. So that line is missing in Super NES. This is the final line of the scene. J2E, yes, ... my master. Okay, that's fine, although the exclamation is weird. And it's missing in naming way. These scenes are just getting wrecked left and right, huh? Oh wait, I think there is some more lines here. Yeah, Golbez is going to talk to Cain in a second. Alright, so Golbez turns and speaks to Cain. Omoshiroku natte kita na, Cain. Things have gotten interesting, Cain, haven't they? Is how that feels. Super NES, things have become interesting, don't you think, Cain? Okay, that's fine. J2E, this has become interesting, don't you think so, Cain? A little wordier than I would have liked, but it's fine. Naming way, things have grown interesting, haven't they, Cain? Okay, that's fine. Cain steps forward, and he goes, ha, ... And again, it's like, yes, sir. Cain says yes, yes, and yes in all three versions there. Then Cain continues, Shikashi, sessiru no chikara anadotte wa ... And that means, however, so he doesn't finish his sentence here, so the verb is missing, but it's kind of like, however, we must not underestimate Cecil's power or his strength. However, we cannot underestimate his strength. ... This became, yes, but Cecil might prove quite a formidable opponent, period. It's weaker than I would have liked. J2E. Yes, but you should not take light of Cecil's power. Okay, that's fine. Naming way. Yes, but you'd best not underestimate Cecil's strength. Well, he's talking maybe a little too strong. Like if this tone was used in Japanese, that would be kind of rude for Kane to say to him. You'd best not. That's definitely not how I would handle that. So the tone is a little off, but it's proper translation, I guess. Golbez steps forward toward the screen, toward us, the viewer, and he pops out of the TV and says 7 days. All right. No, actually, what he says is, Katsute no tomo uyamau kimochi mo wakaru ga, dakara koso scaru milione o sashimuketa. Yatsu. Okay, I won't do that part yet. So, I understand your feelings of respect for your former friend. ... But it's for that very reason that I have sent Scarmiglione. Okay, so that part about respect, feelings of respect, they changed that slightly in easy type to be a little easier for readers. Alright, Super NES. I understand you respect your former friend. But I sent Milon after him. No, it's because of that very reason, of that respect. Yeah, there's a logical disconnect there. Because he knew that there would be like a hang-up, there might be... Kane might like give in to Cecil's pleas to help. So he sent someone else, and that's Milon. J2E. I understand your respect for your former friend. Okay, that's really good. That's probably the best one. But I've sent Scarmiglione after him. So that but, again, I don't like that but. Dakara koso is not but. I wonder if it shows up here. Dakara koso. For this reason is how my weird dictionary thing here says for Dakara koso. What was it before? Okay, naming way. I understand you respect your former friend but ... but Scarmiglione will take care of him. Okay, that logical connection is missing. Alright. The next part of Golbez's line is Yatsumo Shitenno no Hitori. So you can see the number 4 here. In this case, in Japanese, numbers have like multiple pronunciations. And you just have to know that this is probably supposed to be pronounced shi here. Shi, ten, no. And this is the 4 Heavenly Kings thing. This is the first time we're hearing the 4 Heavenly Kings. I have a big article on legendsoflocalization.com. Just check it out. Look up the 4 Heavenly Kings. Even if you just search it into Google, you might get my site on the front page somewhere. Shitenno no Hitori. So this suggests there's 3 others. Yeah, it's the same word that's used in Pokemon for the Elite Four, Shitenno. Alright. But he also is one of the 4 Heavenly Kings, is how that works. So, how to translate 4 Heavenly Kings is like, it can be translated a million ways, as my article shows. If you check it out, you'll see. In Super NES, it becomes Milon is one of my 4 Fiends of Elements. So that's how that works. And then J2E, he is one of my 4 Emperors of the Elements. So there's technically nothing about elements in this. It's just like one of my big 4, one of my Elite 4. It's kind of how it feels. So they added elements in Super NES and J2E. Okay, naming way. Scarmiglione is one of the 4 Fiends. Alright, that's fine. Next part. Tanoshimasete kureru hazu. He will certainly entertain me, or us. He will certainly entertain us. He will surely entertain us. Na, Rosa yo. Isn't that right, Rosa? Or wouldn't you say so, Rosa? Or don't you agree, Rosa? So that becomes the Super NES. He'll put on a good show. That's really good. That doesn't feel like the first draft writing. Don't you think, Rosa? So he brings Rosa into the discussion suddenly, using the exclamation mark. It's missing the superness, but that's fine. J2E. He promised us a good show. No, I don't like that. What do you think, Rosa? The delivery on that is also wrong on J2E. I don't like that. Alright. Naming way. He will not fail. No. It's about entertainment or enjoyment in this case. Don't you agree, Rosa? Okay, that part is fine. Like he's asking for an agreement. Like suddenly, like as a badass villain guy, he's suddenly asking for agreement from the captive. He's not asking what she thinks, so that's why I took off a point there. Alright, so here we go. Kane steps forward. And he says, Yatsu to wa kono kain ga. So he's insisting that he will take care of Cecil. So what he says in Japanese is, oh man, I, Kane, will deal with him. It's hard to convey well, but that's kind of how that goes. I will deal with him. Allow me, Kane, to deal with him. Super NES. Let me take the task of slaying him instead of Milon. Okay, that's fine. J2E. My master, let me kill him. My master isn't in there. A naming way. I should be the one to slay him, not Scarmiglione. So that's kind of what he's implying. He's saying, like, don't let him do it, let me do it. Okay, I'm fine with it. That's where this ga comes from. He's emphasizing me. Let me do it. Let me kill him. Golbez turns to Kane, sort of, and says, Kono aida no yona shittai o misete oite nani o yu. So he's dissing him now. He says, after that blunder the other day, after you showed off that blunder the other day, what, you have some nerve to say that, something like that. You have some nerve saying that after the failure you showed the other day. Shittai, mismanagement, fault, error, failure, disgrace, discredit. So that's how that goes. He's saying you messed up so bad the other day. How dare you have that? How dare you say that? Right? You have some nerve to say that. How dare you ask for such a task? So the point is that he messed up before. It's not that it's just like a task. J2E. Yeah, like you did at Fabul? Oh no. Oh no. J2E, no. Alright. We'll go back to J2E in a second. Naming way. After that pathetic display you gave before? Yes. I like that naming way. You did a good job there. Alright. So J2E, whatever is going on here, it's been this way the whole time. He says, yeah, like you did at Fabul? Oh wait, ... You didn't kill him there. So what makes you think I'll send you? There's a lot going on there. Oh wait, you didn't kill him there? So what makes you think I'll send you? I mean, that part does kind of fit with the Nani OU part, but at the very least J2E will get 2 marked off here. I wouldn't want to give a 3rd. Okay, I'll be lenient there. Alright. Golbez continues with Omae wa doza no mihari o shite oreba yoi. Shite oreba yoi. My tongue is getting dry. Let me drink some water. Stay orderly, boy. It says, as for you, you need only keep watch over Rosa. Okay, so Supernia says, I've had enough of your blundering. Okay, I'll give Supernia a point back on that. Okay, but you only have to watch this girl. The phrasing is weird, but it's proper. J2E says, stay here and watch the girl. He's really showing his authority over Kane here. This exclamation and his phrasing in Japanese. It comes off weak right here. but I'll say it's okay. Naming way, no, your place is here, guarding Rosa. I would have liked exclamation, but that's fine. Right. Cecil, or I mean, not Cecil. Cecil's not here. Kane bows and steps back and goes, ha, ... exclamation. So again, he's doing his formal military-ish, sir, yes, sir kind of feeling. Yes, yes, my master kind of feeling. The Super NES, that becomes, yes, master. Okay. J2E, yes, master. Naming way, yes, sir. Okay, those are all fine. Rosa now says, Sessiru, kiyotsukete, ... exclamation. That means Cecil, be careful. So that becomes a Super NES, Cecil, watch out. That's fine. J2E, Cecil, please be careful. What if the please isn't necessary there? It's fine. Naming way is Cecil, ... and that's it. So naming way, I'll take off a point on that. Yay, the scene is over. Alright, so we're back on Mount Ordeals, and Cecil is now like available for walking. And so I'm trying to leave Mount Ordeals now. Okay, we're fighting the red guy, the red skeletons, and the Lamia lady again, the Lilith. I'm gonna try to do this fight. Okay, I'm gonna try to do the double twin attack. Cecil is now available for walking. Alright. All of that talking. I get to rest my mouth for a little bit. Cecil's just attacking some skeletons while the children behind him. He's always just carrying children with him. He's always dragging children around with him as they do their thing. I probably should start to heal them so they don't die in a second. Come on, you guys can do it. Oh, we're doing the Poochie flare again, the petite flare. It should take everyone out. Oh no, it didn't. It didn't take out the Lilith. Lilith is gonna attack. Cecil will finish. Alright, Cecil has saved the day. The party is victorious. We got 1 experience. That's a lot. Palom leveled up. Learned Faida. Faida is the second level fire spell. That was Fire 2 in J2E and Super NES. Porom has leveled up and gained Protest. We got this earlier back on Mount Hobbs. And as you can see, there's actually a name for it in the Super NES, even though it doesn't exist in the data. It doesn't exist as a spell you can get, I think. It's called Armor. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. We learned Armor. Alright, so down here is a Chocobo Forest, but the game doesn't want me to show you the Chocobo Forest. So I'm just going to take that. I don't care about it. I'm going to have Cecil Darkwave these guys. We're going to get these dark, wash these monsters away with darkness. It's already dark. We're in a forest, so it's already dark, so that's okay. Alright, so we're going to the Chocobo Forest. Yes, now we can use the white chocobos. We already talked to the chocobos on day 2, if you remember. I talked all about Misc and stuff. Do I need any items I can drop with him? I wonder if there's anything that... I should probably start using those junk items down here. Yeah, I think someone said that the armor spell does get used by an enemy, and the name is there just so that it'll have something, but you can't actually learn it, I don't think. I'm gonna do a save state so I don't have to redo all that. Alright, so what I want to do, we could go straight back up there and start doing things, but I want to get a few levels here. Maybe we'll find some things. I could go to the Peninsula of Power place up there. I don't want to do that yet because I'll get wrecked. I could probably just walk up there and do cottages all the way. I'll do that. I'll just kind of walk up there and be careful. Cecil leveled up. That's too bad because he's about to lose his levels. Alright, so in a lot of Final Fantasy games, there's this concept called Peninsula of Power. And this concept is basically, there are parts of these games where you can walk on the map and find enemies that are like meant for later in the game. And if you can beat them, then you'll get, all that extra experience and money and items and all that. Of course, it's difficult, but if you can handle it, it's worth it. So we're kind of like right around there now. Oops. Okay. I don't remember what it's called. I'm gonna look up the Japanese word. What do they call this concept? Let me write this down. Peninsula of Power. In this game, there's a couple versions of Peninsulas of Power, and I think in a lot of the Final Fantasy games, there are these things happen, but I don't think it happens every time. I think it's just like accidental. I don't think it's on purpose. Wow. Alright, yeah, we're not there yet. We got just some Kaipo enemies. I wonder what the migration patterns are for these enemies. How did they wind up on these islands? Was there like an ice age at some point and enemies kind of crossed those ice barriers and then it melted away like our Bering Strait? Alright, so there's like a peninsula-y looking place here, right? Kind of fits. Alright, we're gonna fight some harder enemies here. Nope, not yet. We fought all these enemies before. We've got a... Oh crap. I keep forgetting that it takes health from Cecil. I better be careful. Is it a peninsula or an isthmus? Yeah, we'll have to check. We'll have to get some cartographers in here. Let me just do some healing here. Okay, here we go. This should help. This should take out most of them. Okay, so now we just have the big zoo left. Oh, let's do that fight. Oh, I gotta organize my spells there. Earlier in the chat, people were talking about like how far have people ever leveled up Palom and Porom. I leveled them up until you can get Virus, I think. I think you can get Virus at some point. And then it doesn't even matter because you barely have like the need for it. I should have done that first. Palom leveled up. Learned Sandara, the second Thunder spell. It's Lit 2 in Super NES, Bolt 2 in J2E, and Thundraw in Naming Way. Porom has also leveled up. It has learned Kiarura. That's like the second Cure spell. Cure 2, and Cura. That's how those go. Yeah, Virus is so good in this game, Bio. And the spell it does, or I mean the sound it makes is so good. And there's like no cast time, so it shoots off real fast. And then it has that status effect I think it applies sometimes. As I'm looking at my calendar on the wall here, I see that today is a half moon day. And that reminds me of After Years. They added in the whole moon lunar phase gimmick. Was that a helpful? Was that like a plus for the gameplay, or was that for the minus? I've always been curious. Let me know. So as you can see, there's some islands up above, and those islands are going to have harder enemies that we will meet when we finally get the airship later in the game. And because we're kind of in that zone, we're pretty close, the game will like kind of assign those enemies here too. Okay, yeah, we got some harder enemies here. We got surprised, oh, we might end up dead. Okay, let me look at what these enemies are called. We're fighting like 3 hedgehog-looking enemies and a cougar or a leopard, tiger, whatever, I don't know. Alright, so this first enemy, these hedgehog enemies, we've seen them before, but it's a palette swap now. They're called Heru Nidoru in Japanese, so that's Hell Needle. An easy type that became Tsuno Nezumi. Tsuno is like a horn or a tusk, or something like antler maybe, horn. And Nezumi is a rat. So that's how that comes about. The Super NES calls Hell Needles, they become Sting Rat. They probably wouldn't have used the word hell to begin with. And that rat coincides with the Nezumi here. So there's some easy type overlappiness, possibly. J2E calls it Hell Needle. Naming Way calls it Needle Hog, because it's like a hedgehog. I guess that's a backport from later games or something, I'm not sure. Okay, but the scarier enemy is in the back. It's a cat enemy. And Japanese is Ketoshi. And if you're familiar with Final Fantasy, you will know this as CAIT-SITH. It comes from I think Irish folklore and Irish words. If you've ever seen them, their spellings and pronunciations get kind of crazy. So when you put that into Japanese katakana, it gets even crazier. So turning all of that into English was difficult for many years for Final Fantasy translators. And also you needed to know Irish folklore to begin with. And if you didn't have the internet, which you didn't in 1991, probably. All right. So Ketoshi became an easy type, became Dengeki Hyo. So it's electric attack, and Hyo is like a leopard, right? What is that? Oh no, it's not in here. I can't see it. Hyo is a panther, maybe? I think it's a panther. I forget. Okay, Super NES Keitoshi became panther, so maybe it was just a panther. The easy type makes it clear there's going to be some electrical stuff, possibly. Super NES is panther, CAIT-SITH and J2E, and CAIT-SITH and Namingway. Alright, now I have the task of fighting these guys with my very weak powers. If I can keep them alive in time, I can maybe get that second one off. Oh, these ones KO too, yes. These hard guys will KO from the Deathbringer. Oh crap. Okay, I need to just keep healing people. Okay, I'm healing duty. Cecil's gonna Deathbring some of these guys. Alright, hello. Alright, yeah. Okay, maybe this Peninsula of Power is pretty good for this sword. You can just kind of one-shot them with your Deathbringer sword. Right. Now I'm gonna do, oh crap, it didn't work that time. Alright, I gotta be careful. Oh crap, I gotta be careful. Alright, I'm gonna give, Cecil's gonna go heal this one. This one's weaker. So the reason I'm scared about this panther-looking thing in the back is because it can do one-hit kills on you. If you just make it angry, if you look at it funny, it'll get angry and kill you in one shot. If I'm lucky, I can maybe get this one dead. Alright, I'm gonna kill this Hell Needle if I can. Alright. So it's just the CAIT-SITH is left. And I have the twins doing their special thing. Oh, it's doing Blaster. No. Oh no. I might have ended up in a bad spot. Alright, I'm just gonna go crazy now. Oh no, not another Blaster. Same person. Oh, yes. Panther died in one hit from the Deathbringer. That was an exciting battle. We got all that experience. It's not worth it. I can just go get that experience on Mountain Ordeals. We got 2 gold needles. Those that twin spell takes so long. Does that improve over time with stats, I wonder? Yeah, it says swoon in the Super NES. It's a famous weird phrasing. I'm gonna write that down. Because I want to look at the dictionary for swoon. So we'll look at that tomorrow during the intro. I like having those intro sections where I can kind of talk about how things work. And then we can get them out of the way. Wait, did I have something else to show off today? I might have had something else to show off. Nope. Okay. We can try that again if we want it, and I don't know if it's worth it. We might get another enemy. Let's try it one more time. See what we get. We might get some more enemies to look at. At the very least, we know how to deal with them now. Okay, yeah, we got a new enemy here. Alright, we have 2 Hell Needles, and we have a snake-looking enemy. Looks like it's multiple snake heads, all twisted around. It's called, in Japanese, Tsuin Snake, twin snake. That's how that is. It's the English word twin and the English word snake. So in easy type, they changed that to the Japanese words, sotoja, and that means two-headed snake. Soto, probably. Is it in here? Well, yeah, okay, so you can't see it, but at the very bottom here, that soto is like two-headed. It doesn't show the English, and ja is one of the ways of saying snake, serpent snake, large snake. All right, that became Python and Super NES, twin snake and J2E, and etin snake in naming way. Is etin like from twin? Is it like an old word for twin in some language? Maybe Old English? I don't know. Etin snake. Okay. I'm gonna have Cecil attack the Hell Needles with the Deathbringer. It should hopefully help. Yes. Etins are two-headed giants. Okay. The word reminds me a lot of a very common Choctaw word, which also means double on the way. Okay, we're doing okay. We're taking out these Hell Needles. Now it's just the twin snake for GameCube. I'm just gonna not have them attack. I'm gonna have Cecil attack. Uh-oh. Makitsuki. Oh, that didn't show up. I didn't know what text I said. Okay. Well, we killed it. Palom has leveled up and learned Stopu, and that's the English word stop. Porom has leveled up and has learned nothing. Nothing was learned that day. Nintendo Fan 37 is asking how I'd pull all this stuff off. What these sidebar things are. This is called the Wonder Bar. I've talked about this a lot in the past. I don't know. It's like a custom emulator that I've built or like I've compiled, and everything over here on the left is just text. It's like HTML. Everything over here is HTML. I can mess with it, do stuff. I can attach scripts. How I was doing all this is I studied computer science and Japanese in the university. I go into a lot more detail if you look at legendsoflocalization.com. You can even like download the stuff and play it yourself. Oh, this FF4 one is not out yet, but I have it for FF6 and Mario RPG and Link to the Past and a whole bunch of other games if you want to try it yourself. Alright. Alright, so we're leaving the Peninsula of Power. It was a little too powerful for me. Although that Deathbringer is really good. So how long does it take them to learn virus? How long does it take Palom to learn that? Because I did that one time. To learn bio or virus, yeah. Yeah, I would at the end of 92, like for Christmas break of 92, I played this game, and my goal I decided was I was gonna get to level 99. I was gonna get everyone to level 99. It was like the first time I'd ever done this. It was my first time, like, really going through an RPG, I guess. So I spent weeks on that, and then I did it. I got everyone to level 99, and it was fun. Then I kind of made that my thing that I did every Christmas break for a few years. So I did it in 92. I got everyone to level 99. Then a few months later, I lent it to a friend at school. Lent the game, and the friend came back and said, I booted up the game, and it says empty, EMTY. I looked closely, it says empty. So apparently while I lent the game to this person, my save was deleted. And of course I was upset, so I sent a letter, I wrote a letter. I wrote a letter to a lot of game companies back in the day as a kid, just hoping for some kind of response, maybe free games if I'm lucky. So I did that with Squaresoft back in the day. I sent in some stuff. I sent in like, why did I lose my save? And the response I got might have been from Ted Woolsey himself, I'm not sure. But it just said like, it happens with batteries. Be careful how you handle your game. And that's how that was the most that I got from them. I wish I had that letter. It's possible that letter still exists somewhere in my family's boxes, but probably not. I'm glad I got a response just at all. Most companies I sent letters to didn't send stuff back. Yeah. So right now I'm just kind of goofing around. Okay. I'm willing to go in here. I'm willing to go in here for a few minutes. Well, yeah, I have a Final Fantasy 1 comparison script too. So now I've made a plugin for my Wonderbar that changes the Final Fantasy 1 comparison script to compare the Japanese version to the English prototype instead. Whoa. So yeah, I tried to make it so people can make their own plugins, their own scripts. But it's not very user-friendly, this whole Wonderbar stuff, so I don't have a whole lot to share. Right. So we fought these enemies back before on Mount Hobbs. I'm gonna do the fight. Where are you? There you are. The problem is I think these spirits, they don't get hurt by the Faida or fire. Yeah, fire heals them, so that's not good. So all I can do is have Cecil attack them, but he's strong enough that they should be one-shotted. Okay. We're just fighting a spirit here. The Dark Sword is still strong against spirits. I'm not sure where the divide is between like undead and spirits. The spirits are just dead, I wonder. So Palom has leveled up. Porom has leveled up. And Porom learned Saidesu. It's like the word silence without the N in there, so Saidesu. That became mute in Super NES. Silence in J2E and silence in Naming Way. Okay, so Alexbert has a good strategy. I'm gonna try it. I'm climbing up the mountain a little bit. There's a chest in the... oh, but a fight. I'm probably just gonna fire two of these guys. Let me do this. I'll do the Kiaruda. And then I'll do the fire. Yeah, I could have just done fire on them here. I wanted to see how it went. So pretty much like every Christmas season when I was a kid. It wouldn't always be Final Fantasy 2 that I would play. I would play the other Square games like Mystic Quest, Secret of Mana, then 3, Final Fantasy 3. I would kind of like, every Christmas break, I would kind of go and try to just get super strong in those games too. And that's why like when I was working on this stuff last year, last December, just a few months ago, it was like Christmas break time, and I was like, man, I want to play Final Fantasy 4, and that's why I felt that way. And so, to play Final Fantasy 4, I made all of this programming stuff here. So it took a few months, but I finally get to play it. I'm a few months late. Alright, so we're doing Fire 2 to all of these skeletons. We're just fighting some skeletons. A lot of dead people here. These must be the dead people who all tried to come here. Alright, so that Fire 2 spell sure is good. I'm gonna need to watch my MP though. I'm starting to burn through that MP. So I do have ethers, but I don't have the option to buy them yet. I think in 2 and easy type we might have been able to buy them already, even though they're crazy priced. Alright. Oh crap. Oh no. Okay. Okay, so well first we are on a new part of the map, of the mountain. And so there's a location text. The location text says Shiren no Yama Sangome. That means like Ordeals Mountain 3rd station, I guess is what is called. And stations on mountains, especially in Japan, they are like, if you try to climb up Mount Fuji, a lot of people do. It's a really big tourist thing, but it was also like a really big pilgrimage thing back in the ancient times. Probably not too, but there's different stations, like because it's such a long climb, you need like a rest stop, right? And so those are called stations, I think. or just like little like kind of easier areas. I'm not really sure. But that's what the station deal is. Super NES, that became Mount Ordeals' third station. Yeah, it's J2E is Mount Ordeals' third station, naming way Mount Ordeals Station 3. So that's what the deal is, I think. Yeah, it's like a stopping point, maybe. Some people will just go walk up to like a certain station, like Station 5, and then that's all that they'll do. Like trying to get to certain stations is like takes a higher level of skill sometimes. The reason I was like, oh no, is because as soon as I come over here, there's going to be a story scene. As soon as I walk up there, I think, right? Yeah, I don't want to do the story yet. I'm so tired. So I'm going to go back out. Oh, we got a bunch of zombies and things. Alright. I think we've already fought these enemies before, but there's just a bunch of zombies palette swapped. One of the types is called Revenant, Debunanto in Japanese. However, that's an English word, so an easy type that became Killer Zombie. And then became Revenant, and Revenant in all versions. Oh, that's crazy. We gotta do that thing. What is it? What's a good one? Oh, that's fine. Alright. So we got them all to line up, which is pretty rare. That's why we were celebrating there. Alright. Then we have Guru, which is just Ghoul, and it's also okay, so we'll do that. And this one is Zombie, and that one's... Alright, we're good. Easy type was a release of Final Fantasy IV in Japan, meant for like younger players. It has script changes and a lot of the changes that we got in Final Fantasy II Super NES. The two seem to be developed at the same time. Maybe I should make an FAQ thing, like an FAQ bot or script, or maybe I'll just put something on the Twitch page. Okay, so we're doing some curing some zombies, we're giving them some medical care, but it wasn't enough. After all, I guess they need to be burned. Oh. This is the perfect time to use these weird items that I'm never going to use again. Let's do... where is it? Where are you? Okay, we're going to use a bomb piece, bomb fragment. Right. So this is an item that was dummied out of Super NES. Whoa, that was pretty good too. I thought they were really weak, but I guess that's just because they had a weakness to it. Yeah, pretty good. Alright, so my task now is to walk out of here. It's not too hard to walk out of here. Alright, let's just fight these skeletons. Maybe if there's more of these items I can use. I mean, I don't think this is going to be very helpful, but we're going to use an ice item on them. Okay, this is the South Pole Wind. Pretty weak, as expected. Sasugada. Alright, ooh, that fire spell. That's a good spell here. Yeah, it would be really hard without those twins here, huh? Like if Cecil had to do this himself. That should be a retro achievement. Clear Mount Ordeals with the twins dead. So can any of these translations get back into the positive at this point? I'm pretty sure not. It's kind of rare for us to add points because that's usually if something shines especially good. My scoring system was not made well in advance. I have a system I would like to use in the future. But at this point, it just kind of like shows like just a generic, very fuzzy like quality levels. And J2E is like a better translation, but it also adds a bunch of stuff. And for a lot of people, additions are worse. Like pop culture references, adding that in is like a sin, and so I could have been marking that off like minus 50 every time or something if I wanted. Let's do some healing here. Right. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Porom's going to be out of magic soon, which isn't good for me. Oh my gosh, these guys they're spongy. They're too spongy. Yeah, J2E is going to start like going downhill with the additions and the culture references and things. Like we haven't even really started. Like I feel like maybe game-wise, maybe now we are a quarter into the game. Like all this work and now we're a quarter into the game. So that means we're on the 10th stream here. So maybe we'll go into like 40 streams total. 40 to 50, I'm guessing. Okay, Palom gained a level. Porom gained a level. No one learned anything. Their rate of learning has reduced. Maybe when I was doing I mentioned I was doing like the Phoenix Suns Charles Barkley thing. That's probably when I was grinding just out here for fun. That's probably when I ended up getting them the bio spell, the virus spell. You had to get real high on that spell though. Alright, so I'm gonna save it here. And we're gonna end the stream real soon here. So tomorrow, what we're gonna do is go up Mount Ordeals. There's a bunch of cutscenes. We're gonna meet Tella. We're gonna do the Milon Scarmiglione fight. There's two parts to that. Then we're gonna do the part where Cecil has to fight himself. Then Tella has to be like, oh, I remembered my stuff too. And then we have to go all the way back down. We'll probably have to do some leveling. Then we have to trek all the way back to Mysidia. Mysidia, I don't know if it will have like new text immediately right off the bat or not. But at the very least, we'll go talk to the Elder. Oh no, if we talk to the Elder, it's gonna be another 2-hour scene. We might not do the Elder tomorrow. Oh, wait, I'm not streaming tomorrow, by the way. I'm streaming in 2 days from now. I try to take Wednesdays off as a break. Alright, so here we go here. Let me do a save state. I don't think there's any more really to say or do. I hope you guys had some fun. I hope this wasn't too boring. We saw some cool stuff. I showed off some old Nintendo powers and old memories and things. If you're new to the stream, please do check out legendsoflocalization.com. All your questions will probably be answered there. You can get downloads and all of my articles and things like that. Let's see what else. You can also, I put these VODs on YouTube almost right away. So if you want to go back, you can go to the YouTube channel and there's a playlist. You can check it all out. It's all really good stuff. There's over 24 hours of content already on this. That's pretty crazy. Alright, so that's going to be it for today. Thanks for coming by, everyone. If you're curious, the score now is -193 SNES, J2E -116, naming away -206. Alright, see you around. Bye bye.